Oh, okay. Here we go.
We starting a movie?
We back in the building now.
I feel like I'm at AMC.
We gotta warm up, baby.
My popcorn and my
We gotta warm up.
my large cherry vanilla Coke.
We taking it back to the Ritz.
Okay. Okay, to the reggae room.
Yes.
You're showing your age.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Joey in the building.
Cheers.
Tap, tap.
Tap. Okay.
You gotta warm up.
Okay. Hey.
Little 90s mix
Okay.
that I did. And I'm just joking. I didn't do this.
You've been busy. When did you do that?
Right? This might be a little in the underground for you. A little bit.
I've heard this before. Thank you very much.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Based on your reaction,
Hey. Strictly peanut punch.
See, it's no fair because you playing songs from y'all hanging out together.
You were there. We've already established this. You were there.
This is true. I was there.
You were there.
This is very true. Right, Beans?
Let me see if we go to a tune that you might know.
Come on, Beans.
Because this wasn't even getting played in the club.
Yeah.
Call 12.
Oh, Lord. He
Where the lighters at?
banging the wall.
Yeah.
You got
Yes.
Beans? Come on, Beans.
All right, man. We're going to pod down.
just for the record, for the past 24 hours, I have been in my 90s reggae bag.
Wow. You've been partying.
I've been getting to it, windows down, sunroof.
Going crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
I saw you put that mix in the chat the other day.
Yeah, man.
Yo, welcome to episode 65 of the Where's Brunch podcast.
Woo, 65.
Hey, 65.
Wow, 65.
65.
Eligible for retirement.
We've been away for a little while.
We have. It's been what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Something like that. Yo, it's crazy.
We did the live pod.
Yeah.
And
We had that.
then
Luckily, we had that in
We
the
had
clip.
that in the yeah. Okay. All right. And we went
Yeah,
to New
man.
York. That's right. We went to New York, live pod, and then next week.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some of that, right?
Yes.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm sober, surprisingly.
You don't like coming to the situation?
I mean, I thought I would have been a little less from today, but apparently I'm a little responsible now, and so I'm sober.
Yo, we have our first in studio guest
How about that?
today. We had guests on the live situation.
Yes.
But today we have our first in studio guest. Shout out to Joe Sanson in the building. Joey Crack, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Appreciate the opportunity to be a part of such a festive Saturday evening.
Yeah. Let me
Welcome
pause.
to
Hold
the
on.
madness.
Hold on real quick.
What's the deal?
All right, just want to make sure your level is good.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, man.
What's happening, man? Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels good outside. I'm in the right space.
You know what I mean? Some stuff to talk about.
It's a lot. It's quite a few things to talk about, man.
So many things.
How you feeling, man? You good?
Good, man. I can't complain, man. Life is treating me well.
I just saw you earlier today. You know what I'm saying? Shooting content for your show.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I'm excited for to get back into that, man. The African American Voices of Charles County.
Malcolm X is in the building. That's what's up.
That's dope.
I love it.
appreciative of you helping me out with that.
No doubt, man.
And, filling in the gap at this point. Super pause. Are we full on in the pause gaming here?
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I set the foundation.
Sometimes I question the pauses.
She doesn't understand. I'm protecting you when I pause.
Yeah.
It's a protection
Sometimes
thing.
it just doesn't make sense. Like, why?
You can never be too careful when the game has begun.
Right.
All I know is the person who created this ain't getting no money off this.
Nah. No one else is monetized pausing either.
There's no way to monetize pause.
Right. I mean, the closest thing is Nims with the Ayo, and he turned all that kind of like into a little brand or whatever.
That's,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
yeah.
What's good, man? You feeling good, Trina? You ready?
I'm good. I'm ready.
You ready to talk about some things?
Let's do
We're
it.
gonna hop right into the topics. We usually have a little, you know what I'm saying, discussion about whatever's going on, just how you feeling, and so on and so forth. But
We just like came from drinking and I'm sober.
That's true. That's true. Trina's not happy
You're not
about this.
happy about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't realize that I was sober until I sat down. I was like, well, this doesn't feel like I thought it was gonna feel when we got here
Pause.
today.
Pause. Yo, so what's first on the docket? What do we want to go back? Because we were supposed to shoot a week or so ago.
1 week ago we were supposed to shoot, and then we were.
What are we drinking?
There you go. That's a good.
We
good one.
are
Good
drinking
joke.
a Frank Massard Cava Brut from Mas Sardana, and it is a product of Spain, of course, because it's a cava. Yeah, that's it. We got this in the mail, and we're drinking it.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Frank with a CK.
Yeah, because he's Spain, you know.
It's good though. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
it's good.
Yo, that's wild. Frank with a CK?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about other types of bubbly until I met you. It was all just champagne.
You know,
Champagne, yeah.
You know what I mean?
you come with me, you learn a few things.
Yeah, I wonder how much the average person even knows about these kind of things.
I mean, and I guess to be honest, our champagne was really just like club influenced. Like
It was.
Nobody was drinking, so
Yeah,
it
Mo
was
was-
Rosé and Mo and
Mo was the
Vo,
yeah.
I think my first time having champagne outside of the club was probably when you gifted us that bottle of Mo.
Yeah.
Well, no, we had already had stuff before that. But yeah, that was the main way, just in club.
Yeah, in the club.
Yeah, the high markup priced club champagne.
So recently, my son graduated college. Shout out to Taj. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Taj, yo.
Yes,
Graduated from FIT, Fashion Institute Technology in Manhattan, NYC. You know what I'm saying? And it was a dope situation. Yeah, fun out there.
Yes, first, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've entered an elite club of older folks with
Yeah, man.
college graduates.
Listen,
Congratulations.
My shirt's fitting different now.
Yeah, you know.
I will obviously congratulate you also. I will say that parents know best. I attempted to turn Taj into a rapper at a young age. T Gutter was going to be his name.
T Gutter.
I had a whole marketing plan. His parents decided that wasn't the right idea. No matter how much I pitched slide decks and all of that.
What?
And he turned out to be a college grad from that.
How about that, yo? Shout out to him once
I
again.
can't say that would have happened with the rap career.
You know?
You know.
We went up there. The graduation, FIT graduation, is second to none.
Whew, it was a party.
They hold them in Central Park. They don't play ceremonial. Is it ceremonial?
Yeah.
Music throughout the graduation. No, you're hearing like Kanye instrumentals.
Black
you hear
Eyed
Black
Peas.
Eyed Peas instrumentals. It's a dope situation.
They play Ain't No Stopping Us Now.
They did.
We were sitting like, oh.
They get you in there and out.
Yeah.
Getting the Martin joint
Yeah. And we were the third commencement of the day.
of the day.
They had a 10 and they had a 1 and then they had us a 4.
Really efficient. Really
Yes.
efficient. It was a good time. Taj was happy. So on and so forth. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the graduation itself. It's just a
Okay.
graduation, But we stayed on the Upper West Side
Ooh.
in Manhattan.
Yes.
At, what was do we want to shout? Doesn't matter.
Art House.
We stayed at Art House, dope little hotel on was it West 77th or something?
Yes.
Like that. And Yeah, and it was dope.
It was amazing. Dear Art House, open the rooftop again.
Yeah, they have a rooftop that's not open. Open front, you know what I'm saying? They pull the garage door situation up and all that stuff. You sit outside drinking, eat something and whatever, just watch people.
People watch.
And I'm just setting you up here.
Yes, I know.
I'm just setting you up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we sat here and we're, what do we like to do? What do you like to do when we drive around town?
When we drive around town, I like to look inside people's houses. Okay? I am a person who peers into windows, especially because, certain folks don't put their shades down.
Yeah.
Certain folks leave everything open, got all the lights open. You can see front to back all the way in the house. So I like to peer into people's homes to see, okay, what we got going on here? Oh, is there artwork? Do they have a library wall full of books? Do they have mirrors? Do they have pictures of their great-great-grandfather from 1776 on the wall?
We saw that.
Just things.
So while sitting there having our little drinks and stuff, we see these two apartment buildings across the street.
Yes.
Right. And one night I think it was after we talked to that girl, right? That's when we discovered what you're going to talk about.
Yes.
So we're sitting there and there's this little beautiful dog, whatever. And this is a woman and a guy and the dog. The dog is really into, everybody or whatever. So Trina made friends with the dog as she always does. And this girl says, I'm just trying to get him, used to people. I live right across the street. She said that a bunch of times.
Yeah, I was like,
did you notice that? So,
you just want to let us know.
She wanted to let us know.
Are you going to invite us over? Because I'm totally willing to come in and look around.
So Trina looked the places up.
Ding, ding.
All right. So tell us what you found out about these places.
Okay, y'all. So it's 210 and 221 West 77th Street. Okay. I'm going to just tell y'all that off the cuff.
Let's just
okay.
lay it all out.
Let's just get it down.
Mary, she lives at 314.
Mary.
Because you had to look at these buildings. First of all, the windows were immaculate. They were floor to ceiling. Right. There was like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe the 5 floors or whatever. You see people coming in and out of the 2 buildings on the right, and then you see a building on the left that looks like those are more apartment.
Yeah.
But you could tell the one on the right.
It was dark.
That's 221.
Yeah.
Okay. So we decided. I said, okay, how much these places? What is going on here? Clearly, 221 was homes, condos, or that type of thing. And so I just said, well, let me just put it in. Let's see how much these places are across the street for purchase. And there was one, number 6E, that is 3 beds and 3 baths. Is currently on sale. It's 2,048 square feet. I'm sorry, did I say 3 beds, 3.5 baths? $4.89 million.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The one. And then when you look to the left, where the apartment buildings are, where you can see the great grandfather on the wall of one of the apartments. It's like a bunch of what is the word? Venetian framed pictures. Those old wood things, they're all on the wall.
One big photo and then a bunch of small ones around it. The classic.
Those were going for rent for about $6,700
for like a 1-bedroom.
For a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath, right there.
Yeah. And it was a matter of perspective, like sitting here, like Upper West Side.
Upper West Side. Because they're nestled in between Central Park West and the Hudson River. So this is a pristine part of New York City. It kind of felt like DC. It kind of felt like Georgetown a little bit.
It kind of felt like Connecticut Avenue, whole intersection where Daily Grill used to be. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. In a way.
In a way. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just an interesting thing sitting there, and it's just so carefree.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody's just so carefree, moving back and forth and whatnot. And here it's a 1-bedroom apartment for $7,000, and it was just interesting, just sitting around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I started doing some research and pulling the numbers because I needed to know what is going on in this neighborhood. So the average income of the Upper West Side is $114,000.
That's it?
114,443. The census. Hold on. The census per capita income for this zip code and zone. The last time they did the poll, was $122K per person.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's not right.
Yeah.
For the upper
Yes,
Now,
a
when we
person, an individual person, not
I-
the household.
Yeah, I get
That's
you.
just the
That's
average
still-
salary of a person.
That's
Right.
That
still
lives-
very. I mean, the upper west. So let's identify street numbers here. So are we talking
77
70s?
Broadway.
Right.
Yeah.
So we talking
West
like
70s.
70s.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. So it's 61.7% white, 15.9% Hispanic, 10.2% Asian, and 6.8% Black. The representative is Linda B. Rosenthal for the 67th Assembly District. I did look her up, and I did look up the people who vote in support for her. And yes, I ran the zip code numbers. Those are the salaries. However, some folks are living on trust.
Somebody's bringing down the median number there.
Right.
Right. 'Cause,
Right.
The Upper West Side, man, like
It's also on the
You're
line of
talking-
Hell's Kitchen too. So it's right there. The line that when I was researching that the zip where we were, it covers what the quote unquote Upper West Side covers. It also includes Hell's Kitchen.
Okay. Well, then
So
now
that's why I
something was
think,
pulling
because
the-
if we
the
if we
number
did
down.
like Central Park just itself west, it
Right.
might have been
Right.
like a
Right,
total
right,
200, 300. But for that area where we were, that was
that's
the
a key
numbers.
factor there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started looking at the buildings to see about development and what's been going on and all that. Those two buildings that we were looking at were recently done, particularly 221 in 2017. It was finished.
We looked at the whole floor,
yeah,
and
you
it
can
was
see
all one spot.
it's one
whatnot.
unit,
Yeah.
and they were averaging 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths for all of those floor wise. You get the whole floor of that building. The folks who developed the building, the Naftali Group. The Naftali Group owns and operates developments of 15 residential properties in prime New York City neighborhoods. Miki Naftali, the founder and CEO, I found him on Instagram, very interesting, attended USC. He grew up in Israel. He started working in property management, knew absolutely nothing about real estate before he started getting into the commercial real estate world. And currently on Commercial Observer Power 100, he's ranked at number 55. He's got 3 decades of developed commercial real estate in New York City, Canada, and Singapore. He is currently working on a project for calling it the Brooklyn Riviera, 470 Kent Avenue, 3 buildings comprising 1,000 rentals that he is totally renovating and building up. He's had a little bit of controversy with some of his former proteges suing him for him saying they're biting the hand that fed them, them saying he stole some of their ideas and developments.
When money's involved.
But when money's involved, he's also the former manager of the Park Hotel.
Okay.
He also got into that business. He had some other folks holding out on buildings that he was trying to purchase where he had to give up some money, like in the 25 millions, because people refused to move out. They said that he was going about grabbing properties in inappropriate or
Unscrupulous.
manner. So but the Naftali Group, very big New York City, building all these luxurious neighborhood type of establishments.
It's just interesting moving around the city and interacting with people who are rich, right? Let's just be clear. It's a lot of rich Jewish people moving around on the Upper West Side and other places in New York City. It's the reality. And, we didn't run into a person who wasn't nice.
Right. But they were also trying to figure out who we were.
Right.
Right. What are you doing here, type of
doing
thing?
here?
Right. And it's
Yeah.
not like it's not so much what are you doing here. It's what are just the two of you doing here. Because if you were with someone else, of a different skin color in that space, then it would make sense. I wouldn't have to worry why you're here.
Right.
Because you're being escorted. Into the
Right.
space.
Right.
Nah, we was straight chilling and walking around and wine shop hopping and drinking.
Like
and
you belong there.
Yeah, like we.
Pull your mic up a little bit. So it's good. If you're gonna speak forward, just have it right in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
like up a little, the arm, and then turn the mic down.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
Yeah. See, it's more for
Yeah.
her.
But we were all up and down Amsterdam Ave. We were jumping into wine tastings and talking to folks, making new friends.
What do you look for when you go stay in the city, location wise?
What do I look for?
Yeah, what are you trying to be around?
It depends on what I'm going to the city for, and depends on what I'm going up there for. Like if I'm just going to move around, then sometimes it's based on location, location to a train station, or and whichever line that I know I'm going to move around to. Like if I know I'm gonna hop over to Brooklyn or something, then I want to be on the west side, right? So I can just hop on the train if I'm not driving. Sometimes it's a matter of what the hotel kind of looks like.
Of course,
if I want some of that vibe.
Yeah.
But for the bettermost, it's always based on where I'm going. Like if Tiff and I go for a fight and we don't want to stay in Brooklyn, then we'll stay down, close to the bridge on the Manhattan side. So, it's just kind of like that. Depending on what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of we stay all around, or I've stayed all around the city in different places.
Of course.
Yeah.
Based on sometimes if I'm going shopping and like the one specific store I came for, then the hotel I'm looking for will be close to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's my starting point.
Yeah.
Everything
Right.
else is after that.
Right. Yeah, it's just moving around the city. It's just an interesting dynamic, man.
Right. Because we weren't trying to go to the lower east side. We weren't trying to go down there because we were looking for rooftop spots to go and hang out.
Yeah,
at.
you gotta go
And
leave that
everyone was
neighborhood.
saying, "Oh, you got to go back down. You got to go back to Midtown. You got to go here. You got to go there." It was like, nah, we good.
And it was like of course, parking in the city is crazy, right? And we get there, and I'm like, yo, what's the parking situation? Where's the garages at around here? And the guy's like, it's one over here, it's one over here, boom, boom, boom. They're like $75 a night or whatever, right? So he's like, but go talk to what's my man's name? I can't remember. Orlando. Go talk to Orlando at the door, and he'll talk to you about what the parking situation is really hitting for.
Yep.
So I go talk to him, and he like, yeah. He said, all right, you see down this block right here, 2 blocks down here on the left side. If you get a parking spot on the left side, you can stay here until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. He said on the other side, you get a spot on the other side, you can stay there the entire weekend.
Yep.
He was like, right. So he said, people are going to start getting off at 2:30. You're going to see a bunch of people going out to get into their cars and leave. He says, so go down there and just wait or circle around. He said the same thing is on the other block on 78th and coming the other way and whatnot. So we just drove down, came back around and found a spot on the street. We parked on the street the whole weekend and had to pay a cent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Orlando, yo.
Shout out to Orlando. When we go back, we got to find him. We owe him a gift basket.
Yeah. So
When I used to take the girls to FIT and the Parsons for camp for those 2 weeks, we would and stay in with my aunt in Brooklyn, and we have to do the same thing. So you got to be mindful of the street cleaning, right? So you basically hop back and forth the sides of the street.
Yeah.
Get up when people leave for work. I move my truck over there real quick, real quick, and then go throughout the day and then move it back. So yeah,
I grew up with that whole move your car to the other side of the street type of thing. It was like that in Rochester too. We had to park on one side, and then because for the street cleaning and stuff like that, you had to move your car to the other side, whatever. It's a time situation.
I didn't grow up with that on Long Island. We just parked in the driveway, or people, and even there was no street cleaning. I don't recall street cleaning. I do recall street cleaning, but not with like a schedule, like you had to be on one side of the street or whatever. It was just whatever.
They didn't do street cleaning on my block in Philly.
They had to.
No.
Street cleaning was not a thing on my block in Uptown. It wasn't a thing. Further like down, which is wild, down like in the hood, like down North Philly and closer to Center City, yeah. But uptown, there wasn't no.
I mean, they would come through like maybe once a month. But it wasn't like a scheduled, you got to move your car because street cleaning is going to be. A truck would come through, and I didn't really think it was cleaning anything. It was spreading some stuff on the street, but I didn't know what it was.
That's all they did. They didn't really clean anything, but they did come through
no
with
trucks,
the joint.
no nothing.
Nothing.
The street cleaning was us. You went out there and put it in your own trash bags.
He said it was us.
Swept and shoveled the leaves. Like that was it, yeah.
So what else is going on, man? The New York situation was dope.
It was great.
Traffic was crazy between Brooklyn and Manhattan, but you know it goes without being said.
We had good food.
Yeah.
We got to go to the FIT exhibits. We saw.
Taj had a dope exhibit out there. It was fire.
We ate good food. We drank. Caught some Ubers
and taxis.
I'll say my only real true experience with the Upper West Side was thanks to Morgan going to FIT for summer camp, and in her camp, she befriended this young lady. No, it was Parsons the first time So when she was in 5th grade, she befriended this young lady who was adopted. She was Spanish, but she was adopted by a Jewish family. Her adoptive parents were movie producers, which I learned later on.
Oh wow!
And so her and Morgan got real cool, and so like this young lady had a bat mitzvah, all of that. We went up, hung out for the weekend, and dropped Morgan off for the bat mitzvah. She would spend the night at their house, and it was the first time really experiencing the doorman.
Oh yeah.
So you get up to the Upper West Side, you go to this old looking apartment, but they've got, you ask Morgan, it's like a 2-joint, 2 levels, all of that.
The apartment was
It was a big situation, and that was interesting because again, we walk up and the doorman's kind of like,
who are you?
Right.
What are you doing here?
Who are you here to see?
Yeah, who are you here to visit?
And I don't care if you're with your family. Somebody gotta give me some answers quickly.
Right.
So. And it was cool. They were great people. You know what I mean? Morgan had a wonderful experience in terms of meeting that and being exposed to that. But the Upper West Side is different.
It is different.
It's different.
But I didn't get a bad vibe though. I liked it.
I didn't either.
That's my first time staying up there.
Yeah, I've been up there before as a kid, but you're in and you're out. When you're on Long Island, you just come up there for something and then you're gone.
Yeah.
So, and we did also go to Brooklyn and see kids' apartments.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Taj, we went to go see Taj's apartment, and him and his roommate. You know what I'm saying? Classic New York City
I was about to say,
type
what's
situation
how's
in
that?
Brooklyn. You know what I mean? 1 bedroom, 1 little common space, and another bedroom, and it's just like 2 boys. It's just packed with stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And they had a dog.
And they have a little dog, an Italian Greyhound.
An Italian Greyhound.
Dope little dog.
Adorable little teeny tiny thing.
I had never heard of it. It's a Greyhound, but like this big.
Yeah, he's really small. Yeah.
It's his roommate's dog. But that was dope. Like, and he's living the classic New York life. Like, he takes me to his room and he's like, yeah, I got this off the curb. I got this. Somebody threw this out. I grabbed this drink. You know what I'm saying? So he got shelving and, all this different stuff in his room, storage and stuff like that. You know, because, in the city, people fold their clothes and put them in the oven. Like they use anything for storage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so limited and whatnot. So it was it was interesting to see my son in that environment and, just hearing them talking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Little rooftop situation.
And we went on the roof.
Yeah.
We went on the roof and looked around and hung out up there for a minute. And then we went to Jordan's apartment in Crown Heights.
Then we went to Jordan's apartment to see her because she just moved from Harlem to Brooklyn.
Yep.
Oh, that's the other side of the world.
Got herself she got a dope little spot, son.
Yeah.
Just her.
Just her.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of space
It's a
for
whole bunch.
considering where it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a top floor, like a junior studio, a junior suite, junior 1 bedroom. So it doesn't have the door to close the bedroom off, but it has the hideaway area where the bedroom is. Right. And then she's got the whole living, dining, with
exposed brick and all that.
Exposed brick, kitchen, AC. Great spot.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah,
man.
she's been decorating it out, sending picture updates, and so we got to see her place too. Got to bring her some wine glasses, some rosé, and see everything. And so it was cool.
So here's I guess maybe what we can talk about a little bit. The dynamic of being a parent and watching your child become a young adult and the independence. Right, of that child and your role in knowing your place.
It's not easy. It's not, depending on the type of parent you are, it's not easy, right? Like if you are if you're involved and you're close knit, it's not easy pulling back and allowing them. Like the girls had to give Tiff and I a briefing. Like, listen, when we, I'll back up and say, like, in terms of parenting, like, we are uber supportive, right? So, and the girls being creatives, there's always these ideas that they come up with, businesses or little things they want to do or ideas, and they know if they bring it to us, the first response is going to be, all right, let's do it. What, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is it going to be?
Go time.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And so in doing that, as the parent, you become invested in it emotionally.
Yeah. You want to see it succeed.
Yes.
Right.
But then you're also parenting. And so in doing that, you don't you try to stop them from failing at times.
Yeah.
And so the girl, I remember Kennedy, when she moved, after she graduated last year, moved into her apartment, she was like, listen, man, like, I need you all to let me
relax.
fail.
Wow.
Oh.
She was like,
that was huge of her to say.
Let me fail. She was like, I know that you are, you're trying to minimize certain parts. And I'd be like, yeah, like, I know you're gonna fall, but I don't want you to like crack your head open. So I slide a pillow under there. She was like, nah, don't slide the pillow. Like let me become the full adult. When I'm bringing you stuff, I don't really need you to tell me anything. Just be the soundboard.
Just listen.
Just sharing with you.
Right, I'm just sharing. And that's tough.
That is tough, yo.
That's
It's
tough
very
to
tough.
turn into, because I don't even operate like that with my friends.
Right.
Like if you
I share.
We share.
I overshare, and it's like, yo, I need everybody's input.
Right.
I'm always open for the input, but I guess from that perspective, they're like, listen, we got to get to that. Like we need some of those experiences to make us, different individuals.
Because we got to this point by bumping our heads, failing,
a lot of
falling.
a lot.
Absolutely.
I've definitely learned not to be helicopter mom.
Yeah.
I've had to step back with the whole New York City adjustment of really being completely against her moving to New York City. Like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think you should. I mean, I understand this is where the job is, but I don't think New York City is the place for you. And having to support, her going out and finding her own way, and me not being 25 minutes away, or me not being able to help with X, Y, and Z. Yes, I bought the bed. Yes, I sent pots and pans and all those types of things.
That's cool. That's cool.
But I had to, like, when I'm asking about, are you cooking? Well, what are you eating? Well, what are you having your vegetables? Did you have your Are you taking your
Are you wearing the
supplements?
jackets?
Where's your hat and scarf?
But that's a mother thing, right? Like you're always gonna do that, right? Like Tiff, my mom does it. I'm 48. My mom does it now. Tiff's mom does it to her. There's always this constant reminding your parents, like, I'm an adult.
Right.
In my 40s.
But
But what was your reservation with her going to New York? I'm interested in that.
We just been living in suburbia. And I don't see either of my kids as being city ready, because they've been so sheltered and so protected in suburbia and protected at their colleges. And, where they went to school was not in a quote unquote big city where it's like, burp, burp, cars and sirens and all these things. And you fear for, okay, oh my gosh, are they going to be able to handle this? And Harlem, I was like, okay, well, Harlem is cool. And it's only 2 stops away from the job. Oh, even better. So you're just taking 1 train. All right. We're good.
Harlem is Harlem.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But it was just a big thing, because I didn't know if the city would eat her up.
Yeah, the city is so big and your child is so small.
Yes.
Like, I went through the same thing, of course.
Yes.
The difference is Taj went to school in Manhattan, and I was against that.
Right.
But I had to let him, do his thing.
And I understood, like, okay, she had TikToked for the whole summer from home, and then it was like, okay, now they offering me the job, and it's in New York, and I'm like, so you gotta move there, you gotta live there, and it's just because you think this version of your child.
So what if you had it your way? what would have been the ideal place for you?
You know what?
Your comfort level for
I
her,
don't.
because she
I
went to school in
don't.
Baltimore. Well,
Yes.
right outside of.
But she started out in Savannah, Georgia.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Then she was in Towson. If she graduated from Towson, where would you have? If she would have said, "I'm moving back to DC," would you have been like, and not Alexandria, like DC proper?
I would have thought that was a bad idea too.
You would have thought that.
I would have thought that's too close.
That's what I'm asking.
I would have thought that was too close.
Is there any win in this?
There was no win.
There's
in
no
it
win.
because I thought she was gonna try to go to California, and I was like, "Oh hell no, you ain't moving to California."
Taj got
That's
accepted
it.
at the Fashion Institute out in San Francisco.
Yeah,
like you know, and I was like, "Word, that's what's up."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "How am I supposed to get to you if there's an emergency?"
Right.
You know?
So it's always interesting because like when Tiff, we being opposite types of parents and living opposite childhoods and growing up differently. I left Philly and went to Kunsan, Korea. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
So Tiff left Fair Falls Church and just went to Fredericksburg.
right.
And I'm not dissing
Yeah.
that.
No.
Away from
There's a
home, but I'm
difference.
saying in terms of a distance from where you left.
Yes.
So in the approach of raising the girls, or how we looked at the girls, I never had an issue. If they would have, if Kennedy or Morgan would have went to school in London, it would have been fine with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I also one of my goals for them was to always be super independent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I raised them to go. Tiff, I'm not saying Tiff was holding them, but I would do stuff like those summers in New York. Morgan would ride the train from Brooklyn to Manhattan by herself.
I remember that, yo.
Tiff didn't know that because she's in New York with me.
I would fall apart.
Tiff would have gone crazy.
I would have
Yeah,
been
this was a
calling
long
relatives.
time ago, yo.
And Morgan was in like the 6th grade.
What? I mean, but the kids do that in New York.
Exactly.
It's a
Yeah, it's
different
regular.
thing.
Exactly.
It's a
Regular.
different thing.
So it was one of those things where I was just like, they're not gonna live here forever.
Right.
I want them
Yes.
to move out, so I got to give them age appropriate. I always call it age appropriate responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then pushing them to that. Morgan
Right.
was always gonna go somewhere far for college.
Yeah.
We
Right.
actually thought it was gonna be New York.
Okay.
So Tallahassee was what it was, and she went there. Kennedy, I knew she would have stayed close. You know what I'm saying? When going to Baltimore, but even when she got to Baltimore, she was in her own space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she fell into city life because with me, we were always going to the city. We always going to Philly.
Right.
We always going to New York. We're always in DC.
Yeah.
So that was a pull to them. But I know for Tiff, it was like distance wise. That's why I asked what was the perfect for you.
There was no perfect. I mean, I always said they needed to go away to college.
Yeah.
I always said you don't need to be close by us because you're really not going to get the feeling. You're going to be home every 5 minutes and I don't want to see
and I
you.
don't wanna see you.
I don't want
Yeah.
to see you. And Kennedy, that first year, she was coming home like every other month. I'd be like, what are you doing here? Your school is in Blacksburg. Why am I seeing
Why are you here?
Why am I
Yeah.
seeing you? So as far as like, when you think about their career and I understand they're starting out and all that stuff, I then had to just adjust my brain and realize I got family on Long Island. I got friends in Brooklyn. I got friends here. Let's just activate the whole network so everybody knows where she
Just
is.
in case, right?
Just in case.
Just in case.
There's an emergency. I know there's someone that I can call who can get to her or she can get to them if there's some sort of an emergency. And then I was like, okay, let's go. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff that I don't know about.
Oh, there is.
But there has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Right?
And I got to let it be.
Yeah, Kennedy knows more than you at this
Oh,
point.
Kennedy knows way more. She knows way more
I
than
think
me.
for us, one of the disadvantage to parenting that we don't really talk about a lot is social media.
Yeah.
Right? And so being here, moving back here when I got here from DC. I mean, when I got here from Korea, my first that 1 year, I moved to the to the Fort Myer here in DC area, and I stayed here. But I was going back and forth to Philly. I was doing a lot of things. Social media. My mom is all over. If I post something on social media, the first person to respond is Wilma Sims.
We posted a video the other day, and I saw a comment. It said "real talk," right? And I was like, "Oh, who said this?" And it was your mom.
It's my mom.
I love it.
Mama number 2 for me. Wilma, I love Wilma.
But I'm just saying, like, in those days, she didn't know unless I told her. There was no evidence of anything that was happening.
Yeah.
Right.
And we accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah.
And so having social media now is kind of like, you know, your kid, you get to see what your kids are doing. And at certain points, you want to be like, well, I don't really want to police your social media, but why you put in that? Why you don't do that? You got your grandparents are looking at
Your grandparents are looking.
You know your grandmother gonna comment.
They're adults. You know what I mean?
They're adults, though.
Taj posted something in his stories the other day. I'm on such and such type shit today. And I was like,
Exactly.
Well, wait. You know what I found out? That Kennedy has a close friends list, and I'm not in it.
that makes a lot of sense.
The
you're the parent.
The girls are exclusively close friends.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, for real?
Absolutely. Kennedy and Morgan will post here and there, but they're close friends.
It's
They
popping.
stay in the street.
Yeah.
I know they're posting.
Yeah.
They just put it in the close.
Now-
Because grandparents been on their heels.
Let me just say, this podcast, before we say too much personal information about our children, this podcast will be listened to by like 13 people.
Right. The kids ain't listening. The kids ain't listening.
Of those 13,
It ain't the
it
kids.
ain't our, it ain't the 5 of our children.
It ain't the kids.
So
For
we'll
real.
talk bad about them the whole time.
I mean, I had fears too, and I still do, because I'm protective over my son.
Yeah.
I love him. You know what I mean? And he's a kind, gentle soul, right? And here he is in the land of, you know what I'm saying, what size is those? Give me that. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? So I always, he don't have the I always say I was street adjacent, right? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing too much crazy stuff, so just some regular crazy stuff. And so I have a little bit of awareness and some more that I've gained over the years.
Yeah.
He's never been in a position to.
Right.
Now he's in a position to gain some of awareness of those types of things and how to move, around or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's in it. He's in it. So there was the fear for me.
So that I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask you that. We have girls.
Yeah.
So our fears over our daughters are completely different than a dad or fear over a son.
Yeah.
What are some of the actual fears you have over having a young black man in New York City?
Violence towards him.
Yeah.
Any type of violence towards him.
Unexpected. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with him. Just,
Right.
Nothing to do with him. It's never going to have anything to do with him, because he's just not that person.
Yeah.
And my baby ain't never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Right. Tell it.
Literally.
Tell it. And that's really true.
So it's always that, and it's always the I don't want to call him, I'm not going to say he's naive, because he's not. However, just the traps that are laid, and this is going to rile up the black woman delegation. Okay. But the traps that are laid when dealing with women, when dealing with girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever go to the projects to visit somebody. Don't ever do that.
But you have to do it once.
No, I've never done it. No. I did, and I turned around. I called you, and I said, yo, what you know about New Jersey in First?
And I was like,
yo.
Get out of there.
I said, yo, I'm over here right now, and it's too quiet.
Search them quarters, B. You
They looking at you?
Belly of the beast.
I knew that was off. It's too quiet.
It's about to get
There's
you.
nobody outside.
It's not right.
I'm leaving. Never spoke to that person again. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of things is like, you know what I mean? Like, does he know it? Do I have to tell him? You know what I mean? And I did. I shared a lot of stuff with him and whatnot. Things
You
to
put
look
him
for.
on dad game.
Listen, man, I'm like, this projects is every other corner in the city.
It is.
Even when you think there shouldn't be a projects, there's projects.
They're tucked behind the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
It's right there.
There's a whole documentary about a school in the Upper West Side that had the projects on one side and these $1 million condos on the other,
that's
and the families interacting at the school.
Kids
that's
is
a
co-mingling.
But the beauty of him going to the city is that the driving factor, according to him, is that he just wanted to be somewhere where he can be himself.
He's a creative.
Right? He's a creative person. He was wearing Chelsea boots in high school. when he did the sneaker thing already and moved past that. He was wearing a pearl necklace, you know what I'm saying, as a freshman in college. Like, he was already doing these things a long time ago, where, you know, if he was in Kent State, where I wanted him to go, that might not have been the move. You know what I mean? Even though I know the socially, he would have found his people.
They do. They always find their people.
So I had my fears and whatnot, and I had to
violence. You said violence,
trickery.
Trickery,
not knowing what to look for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just those things, man. Just, you know,
those
just
are serious
maneuver.
things. Like
serious things. And you can't avoid the violence. Like, it's
you can't.
You know what I'm saying? You can move through life and not have to deal with it a whole lot. Like, I haven't dealt with a whole lot of violence towards me. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a few fights and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. But the energy you put out is really what you attract.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I know him on a bigger scale, he's going to attract good energy. However, it's some niggas out there that don't care about good energy.
They're just like, fuck it.
And for him, it's a proximity thing, is what you're saying. It's not. It's not like it has nothing to do with him. He could be walking to the corner store and the foolishness is happening.
You're there,
and you just your proximity to it is that.
Yes, and this is gentrified Brooklyn we talking about. Right. So with gentrification, you on top of the hood.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They ain't going nowhere.
They're still there.
You know what I'm saying? Especially like in here, you got people moving from DC to Waldorf.
Yeah,
moving to the suburbs, out
right.
in the city. Ain't nobody moving to Jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They there still. So, you know what I'm saying? And now it's much different. This is my first time to Brooklyn in a long time, this last trip. And it's like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah. But
it's wild to see. But, you know, it's the element is still around.
What are some of your fears raising young ladies?
I mean, you know, I had the conversations with them about dudes and sex and being careful, being cautious, and don't let no dude up in your place and the dude trying to move in. And we've talked about the different types of guys and dating in New York City and the type of guys that my oldest has been exposed to. And she's just like, I'm good. I'm just going to focus on my career right now because these dudes are weird.
Yeah.
So we talk about that. We always talk about safety. We always talk about also just like the balance of, you know, finding your peace in what you're doing. Like, she's in her career right now and, you know, they want to go and they think they should be making this and they think they should be doing this and this and this and I'm about, you know, like, what is your peace? What is your space? Like, what is your jam? What's making you happy? What makes you feel like it's not even work? What feels good to you in your environment, and how can you do more and have more of it?
Yeah,
it's interesting.
How about you, man?
I think
fear-wise, or were there any?
But there are two different types. For like Kennedy in being in Philly, I love the apartment that she chose, right? It's got, I don't have a fear of safety in her apartment. However, her apartment is on the fringe, right? So you got Germantown right up right up the street. But she's at the end, and so you've got, you know, Wissahickon and you know, like Lincoln Drive and all of that.
Yeah.
So there are a lot more white people down where she is, as opposed to. But if she goes up a block and a half, she's on Shelton Ave, Wayne
Shelton Ave.
She's in, you know, what I mean, she's in the middle of it, and I think that's perfect for her. You know, her time in Baltimore, she earned her chops. You know, we had I'm grateful of the relationship I have with the girls, because we were able to have those conversations. And as she got older, we were able to have, I remember one time, you know, she was moving around Baltimore. She was having a good time. You know, Kennedy was doing hair, so the other college boys weren't in her realm because she's getting money.
She getting money. Yeah. These young bulls ain't got nothing for me.
So for her, I can't date the right.
Yeah.
We talking dad, and she and I having these conversations. She's like, I can't really date the college guys because they don't have no money. I got money, so they're gonna be trying to leech off of me.
Yeah.
So she's in Baltimore. You know, her dad still has a hustler feel. So the hustlers are around.
The hustlers
you
are
know,
around.
and so I remember she was not to. Kenny don't listen to it anyway. So she was dating this one guy. He was a little older. He was getting money, like street money.
He was getting money,
right?
Yeah.
And so we went to this one restaurant. It was like the little what's it called? Black something. Black Swan. Right?
Oh,
so
okay.
Black Swan is like, the grass wall.
Yep.
Gotta be
Instagrammable.
seen.
Yeah.
It's the Instagram spot.
Yeah.
The $30 two
Yeah.
lamb chops. Whatever.
Smothered in some type of sauce.
Yes.
Yo, don't get me into the black restaurant conversation.
I'm feeling
We're getting triggered. Triggered right now,
I don't
yo.
want to go down that route, right? But so we're having the conversation. I'm like, Ken, I get it. It's fun. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to continue to date him because he's a little older and he's experienced things. So Kennedy's getting to the stage where she's standing on couches.
Oh.
She's bottling enough. She got a crew. Everybody know.
I can't take it, son. I can't.
Right? And so she was like, so when I tell him these things, he's like, yeah, well, I kind of did that already. And she was like, that's not fun. So I'm not going to date him no more. And I said, well, Ken, you got to be careful. So it's those conversations. So my fear comes from that. And from the opposite side of, you got to be careful of the type of dudes you dating because of the shit that comes along with it.
Yes, indeed, man.
You in Baltimore, you're not dealing with the little local corner boy or somebody getting a couple dollars or somebody got a job, boom, boom. You dealing with the dude who getting it, and so next to us was like the table of the hot girls. It was like 10.
What do you mean next to us?
So
When they were out to eat?
Yeah, when we were out to eat. So it was me and Ken. And so I said, look over there. I said, you see them girls, those ladies next to you, they are in their late 20s, early 30s, right? You're dating this dude because he's getting money. When it's time to go party, y'all standing on, everybody's having a good time. Your crew comes with you because they know hang out with Ken because she's got the guy. I said, and you don't need anything from him.
Right.
I said, those ladies down here that you're looking at that's sitting next to us, all of them will fuck you up.
Straight up.
Straight up and down. Why? Because you're the college girl.
Yep.
And he has to pay real bills over there.
Yep.
So you're taking money out of their pocket.
Yep.
And ain't no little college girl gonna get in the way of this Chanel bag I'm trying
Straight
to get.
Yep.
So those are tertiary fears that come along with that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you in Baltimore at that time. So the thing about dating individuals, for me, one of those fears was who you're dating and you realizing what comes along with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, I think it was more I didn't want no dudes to like take advantage of her.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Or move their way into the crib and no
Yeah.
stuff like that. I never really had a problem. Kennedy is street savvy. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I kind of raised him that way. And then Tiff's influence on the girls is their high level of self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So they know what they're worth and things like that.
Right.
And so those were some of my fears. When she moved to Philly, I thought she was Morgan. My fear for Morgan is completely different. Because she's a creative, my fear for Morgan is people taking advantage of her intellectual property. She's really good at what she does, right? Like in her fashion world and the way her brain works and the stuff that she creates and the ideas that she has that she brings to life at a drop of a dime. She sees them through. She makes it happen. She's but inside of that, because she's such of a creative, she doesn't attach a dollar amount to it. So what happens is people end up getting some amazing stuff out of Morgan, and she doesn't see anything wrong with not charging them for it. Wow. And I'm like, and I it's something I have to get over.
Yeah.
Because I know she's gonna grow out of it. But I also know like you're cheating yourself out of some things.
Hold on, Joe.
I know.
Because we just had the live joint, right? When Christina was saying volunteer your go to where you want to be and volunteer your services there. So I think there is a strategy in that. I'm not sure if that was her intention.
That's not. And I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, because I'm all for getting into a space, volunteering so you can learn something.
Yeah.
That's not really what I'm talking about. For instance, Morgan got to FAMU, and within I don't even know if it was the first month, had started an entire modeling organization, right? And based on what she saw other modeling organizations that were there and had been there for a very long time, but she didn't like it. And she was just like, they treat it like it's a fraternity or sorority or something, and it's not that, right? On top of which, Morgan was like, well, I do print and I do runway. So I'm going to start an organization that brings models from both. And if you don't know it, I'm going to teach you, right? So she's teaching them how to walk. She's doing fashion
Morgan's
shows.
so gangster, so I'm telling you.
She's got all of these photographers lined up. She's doing print. She's doing all of this stuff, right? And so in that, one of the photographers, they take like running for king and queen of the whatever.
Okay.
FAMU takes it to a whole other level. Like, I mean, it is at another level. So it's campaign season. That was her first thing where she started getting paid for it. She would put these treatments together. She was doing music videos, like all types of stuff. And I'm like, okay, Morg, I get it. But you're creating this situation. You putting this fashion show together. It's a dope, because Morgan's brain, she's got it in a garden somewhere. You know, people.
She's no joke.
The models are weaving through gardens. Like, it's nuts, right? And I'm like, well, how much did you get paid out of that? And she was like, nothing. Like, we just, the name of her organization, we put it together, you know, and then that's that. And I'm like, but Morgan, like, you spent time,
Time equals money.
all of that. If you're going to do these things, at some point, you've got to pay yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Because putting all the money back into the organization, I get it, but you need money.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not falling out of the sky. So my fear for Morgan over time is that she will learn, and she will.
It'll come.
And definitely within 2 years, because she'll graduate and she'll need to feed herself.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it'll be flowing before that.
Yeah. But I know she's
such a creator, son.
Such a creative. And
I relate.
Yeah.
Through myself and through Taj.
Yeah.
Like, Taj is just doing these projects. And I know Joe has been frustrated with me at times. I know it. Because I'm just like, I did it. Like, I had a vision. And you know this, Trina. I have a vision. I executed it.
Yeah.
And I'm fulfilled.
Right.
I'm happy.
I'm like, yo.
So I would say to that, because Jordan creates branding packages.
Yeah.
She was doing that senior year.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's good.
And I would talk to her because she wouldn't know how much to charge people. And I was like, your time is you have to charge for this. Well, I don't know. I don't want to ask her too much because then they're not gonna pay. I was like, no, add 30%. Like, this, okay, this is the base. Now let's add 30% to that.
Yeah.
And I would just say that to her over and over again. Whereas now she'll text me and she'd be like, add 30%, because I'm trying to instill in both of them. Kennedy does a lot of stuff right now. She does video editing and all that stuff, but now she's doing it on her internship with NBC, and she realizes that there's a monetization to this for moving forward. Yeah. So don't just be volunteering the services for these organizations at school and not getting paid for them. Yeah. But I did have to tell him, like, your time is important. It's quantifiable. You can get paid for the time that you were giving up for looking at a screen and creating this and creating that. And I was like, and once you get whatever number you come up with, then add 30% to that. And don't be afraid of putting the price. The price is the price. Either they're going to pay it or they're not going to pay it. And you keep it pushing. Yeah. Don't drop the price. Don't start negotiating down. If you're negotiating, you should be negotiating up. Yeah. And those are the things that I've talked to Jordan about in particular. Like, girl, where is your invoice? How much did you charge for that?
Yeah.
You need to raise the price of that. And I'm constantly like that with them because especially she's really talented. She does great branding kits for people. She does website development for people just on the fly. That's not even what she likes to do.
Yeah, she's not even interested in it.
She's not even interested in doing it. Like, I'll do it if I have to, whatever. I don't really feel like it. And I'm like, ma'am.
Yeah.
You're funny with that too, because you're like,
I don't play.
Even with me, and I'm like, oh, I got the media company now.
First,
right?
what did I say?
And I was like, yeah, I'm doing $50 an hour. You're like 75.
30-minute consultation free, and then anything after that is an invoice.
I dig it, man. Listen, it's good to have people like y'all in my life. You know what I'm saying?
You have to.
When we did this, at first he was like, I'll do it for free.
Of course I was going to do it for free. It's my friend. Like, what are you talking about?
And I was all with
It's a little different.
But once I had to pay someone else.
Yeah.
Right? Once someone else said, how much do you want to pay? You can have the space. Not a problem. I won't charge you. Whatever number you come up with, that's the number. Well, when I went back to, my organization and they were like, we'll give them this amount. Then I came to you and was like, boom, I'm gonna give you the same thing.
And I'm like, where's it come from? Does it come from you? And he like, nah, it's coming from. And I'm like, all right, cool.
No, that part's actually coming from me. Because,
see, you know what I'm saying? Your friends lie to you.
Yeah, but it's because.
I understand it, bro. I understand. Like with the event, like I'm the DJ is getting paid, and now that I'm paying Life, I have to pay James. Like I have to pay James. So now in my mind, I'm thinking about sponsorship. I'm thinking about different things to get money coming from somewhere else, so I can pay my guys. Like James is volunteered to do this production for us, whatnot, and I gotta pay this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's my guy.
I can't pay one and not the other.
I can't
do that.
It may be for a couple times, which I had to, but you know what I'm saying? I gotta pay him. So. Yeah. All right, we got to move on. Shout out to the kids, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to the kids.
We got brilliant kids.
Who won't listen to this.
Guys.
Who won't see this.
It could be worse.
It could be.
It could be a lot worse.
We could be grandparents, all three of us right now.
So
let's quickly move on.
Let's chill, son.
Not even entertain that. Let's continue forward.
I'm just saying, it could be that.
We have other things.
Let's discuss what's on the board.
So we left, of course, we left New York City. We came back home. Fast forward a little bit. I don't know what happened in between, but there was a night last Friday night where some stuff happened. Do you still want to talk about this, Trina?
Yeah, I'm cool with talking about it.
Last Friday night we had some. So we were supposed to be at Wonderful with you and the missus. Yeah. And we ended up somewhere else. And I'll let Trina tell her story. It's all right, man. It's all right. I'll let Trina tell her story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Because somebody's gonna be there to relate to this.
Yes. So I was home. I wasn't feeling good. So let's go back to Wednesday. So last Wednesday was my company virtual wellness event. Well, our vigilant wellness event, which means that every month we all get together in person and do something wellness wise, whatever it is. And we had a cookout that day. Remember?
Yes. Yeah, and mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun. It started pouring down raining where we were at the VFW, and we were outside and the water was coming up under the tent and all these things. We did a little bit of stuff. We got to talk. We ate some food, and then they were just like, boom, cut. Everybody go home. Came home, and I was freezing.
Yes.
My legs were cold. I was just feeling really, really, really off. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe it's because I was out there in the elements, blah, blah, blah. Thursday comes, I wake up, I'm not feeling good. Not really sure what it is. I'm feeling a little bloated. My body feels really, really like tight, like just not good. I'm not myself. I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep. I thought like, oh my gosh, maybe I got sick yesterday at the event because all of us were together and we haven't seen each other in whatever. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to, just chill today. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll be fine. We're supposed to go out. Friday morning comes.
Now, before Friday, just want to note, Thursday that's when the power went out, right?
The power went out. Oh, yeah.
We went to Wegmans to get something. The power went out in our building. We went to Wegmans to get something to eat. We came back, and once we got back, you were feeling like crap.
I was feeling
like it just
horrible.
like she just
completely
fell off a cliff or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We went to lunch because we ain't had no power here. No AC, no power, no nothing.
Right.
And we went to Wegmans to get something to eat. We ate over there. I came back and I was just off.
Right.
I think I laid down, didn't I?
Yeah.
So Friday morning I wake up. I'm horrible. Feel horrible again. Don't know what's going on. And a little thing in my brain says, take your blood pressure. Let's see what your blood pressure looks like right now. Took my blood pressure. It was roughly, I believe at that moment, it was about 152 over 100. And I was like, that's not good. And I've had hypertension for the last 20 years. Let the record reflect. I've always had hypertension since I've had my daughters.
Kennedy is not your fault.
Kennedy, it's not your fault. I had pregnancy-induced hypertension, and from that point, my blood pressure never went back down. So I've been on medication. I've had blood pressure meds reduced. I've been down to almost being pulled off of them, and then it was still like, no, we don't feel comfortable taking you off. And so I just kind of monitored my BP that day. And I knew that something was really, really not good. So I did it again a couple of hours later. It was still high. And nothing ever said to me, oh, you should call the doctor's office right now so you possibly be seen. I kept going and kept going. And then we got to the
Push
end
through
of
like
the
we
day.
always do.
We
try to push through things.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
That is a problem, especially women who have pre-existing health conditions. You can talk your way out of a whole bunch of stuff because you're like, oh, it's just such and such. I can fix it. Oh, what did I do? I took a magnesium bath.
Yes, you did.
I was like, oh, I'll do this. I must be having a flare up. I'm fine. Took my blood pressure. It did not come down. Finally, I said, okay, I'm going to call the office because at this point it's after hours. I talked to the on-call doctor, and she's not my doctor, but she works in that practice there. And I read her the numbers that I had for the day, and she's like, these numbers are not really good. These numbers are of concern, and I am going to recommend that you go to urgent care, hospital emergency room, because something isn't right, and we probably need to do something or help you. So I talked to him like, we gotta go. I don't want to go, but we gotta go. And it's a Friday night, and
let's go.
Who wants to go on a Friday night to the ER? Nobody. So we go, and of course the panic button is pushed for everybody there. It took a little while. They took me to the back, and we were there for 8 hours.
Yep.
Of them trying to bring my blood pressure
and
down.
it just kept going up.
It kept going up. It got to the point where it was 182 over 118.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really high. And it was at that point that she said to me, we're considering admitting you to the hospital now. We're going to keep you because we can't bring this down.
Drugs didn't work.
The first round of drugs.
Didn't work. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the first round of drugs.
So they gave me a drug that was supposed to bring it down. In the end, I started having heart palpitations. I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a stroke. I thought all of these things all at once because they took me away to go do an ultrasound on my leg to make sure that I didn't have any blood clots because I had complained about pain in my leg that morning that I had woke up. So they wanted to check me to make sure it wasn't a clot that can move up to my lungs and kill me. So that was something I was stressed about. And then the blood pressure kept going up. So
you were ready to rip everything out and go home.
I just wanted
because the ultrasound thing didn't happen when we wanted it to happen.
It took hours
because the person who lived like an hour and some change away, we found out later they
didn't call her.
Yeah, they didn't call her.
They didn't call her. She was on call. They forgot to call her. Then when they realized that she hadn't come yet, they're like, oh, we need to call her. So when she came, she's like, I'm sorry I'm late, but I realized they didn't call me for an hour after they had ordered the call for you. Talk to her. So weird. Great lady. Birthday 2 days away from mine. We're the same age. She has the same issues as me. And she said to me, have you had a heart ultrasound? And I said, no, never. She said, how long have you had hypertension? I said, probably like 20 years. And she said, I noticed, and this she said to me, that when it's my cycle, my blood pressure goes up, and I have to double my dose.
Yeah.
With my blood pressure when I'm on my cycle, because my blood pressure goes up for some reason. She said, but once they did the ultrasound of my heart, they found that there was something wrong with my valves. There were some blockages happening, and they had to change everything and treat me in a different way. She was like, please make sure you insist that they get you to a cardiologist so that you can do that. So finally, they gave me another medication, and it did bring the blood pressure down to a reasonable number. It was like 160 something, right? And then she was like, she realized I hadn't slept. We're, like I said, we're at like the 5-6 hour mark in the hospital. And she said, I don't want to keep you. I don't want to admit you because I feel like your blood pressure numbers are reactionary to you being in this environment. They got the screen up there. You're looking at the numbers and taking it. I'm trying not to look because I don't want to stress out. So she agreed to send me home. But just in the midst of being in the middle of all of that stuff, I was really afraid that I was going to die that day. Like, I literally sat there like, I haven't had issues with my blood pressure since like delivering Kennedy. Yeah. And I had like a blood transfusion, and they kept me for like a week because they couldn't get my blood pressure down. And I remember they had me on so many drugs, I was hallucinating. It was crazy. Like, I remember I was saying something like Saddam Hussein was in the room with me. Oh gosh. And I remember because my cousin was like, what are they giving you? And so, thinking about your mortality and thinking about dying over something so simple as your blood pressure is really like, could this be prevented? What could I do differently? But blood pressure is a silent killer in the Black community. Most people are walking around and don't even know that they have high blood pressure. Yep. Most people are chilling like, I might have had a headache, but I took something for it and I'm fine.
Just pushing through.
Or pushing through like women normally do a lot of times.
People. Because men do the same thing.
Yeah, you push through. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die. I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've been. I know I've gained some weight. I know I'm in menopause, whatever. But this is just like, and the more that the blood pressure was taken and the number wouldn't go down, the more stressed I became. And the more I internalized, like, oh my God, my blood pressure. And the kids, and I need to talk to the girls. They don't even know what's going on right now. And they're going to be stressed out over me. And I don't want them worrying about me. And so at this point, we're a week now into this. Yep. They have tweaked my blood pressure meds 3 or 4 times. Right. They've changed meds. I've been to see a cardiologist. The cardiologist has a report in for me to have the heart ultrasound. I'm on the wait list to be moved up, but my appointment is at the end of the month, the second to last, the week of Juneteenth is when they're going to do the test to see what else is going on. As I wake up every morning, I'm required to take my blood pressure in the morning and in the evening. My morning numbers are terrible. They're high. The evening numbers, they seem to come down. Right. I've changed my meds. And so I was doing some research because you know me and you know what I do. And I was looking at blood pressure numbers for African American women just to see like, what are the latest and greatest? What are they saying about us right now? So they said that the American Heart Association, I was on their page. They said 58% of Black women in the U.S. have high blood pressure.
58?
58%. Damn. The highest rates in the world. Damn. They said Black women are also more likely to have stage 2 hypertension, which is a number of 140/90 or higher. So that's a deeper level of hypertension that Black women often have. They said Black women are twice as likely to experience a stroke compared to white women. High blood pressure before the age of 35 triples a Black woman's chances of a stroke in the mid to later life years. And that kind of made me stressed out because I'm like, okay, I've been dealing with this blood pressure thing since I was like 30. And I don't want to have a stroke. I know my grandfather passed away. He had a stroke. I was there with him on his last day, on his last breath. And it was not a pleasant situation. And I do not want to experience that. what else? There's a correlation between hypertension at a younger age and stroke in the midlife to later years. Some important factors that they cite for women with hypertension is smoking, body weight, diabetes status, and neighborhood socioeconomic status.
Yeah, how about that?
So I was like, what? So then they said research has adjusted people living in certain regions of the United States where stroke is more common and stroke mortality is higher.
Makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Dealing with stressors,
Yes,
every day.
But get this.
Stressors are,
Yeah, get this. There's a stroke belt among African American women, and it's included in the Southeast states, in the Southeast area. The stroke belt, or the stroke alley for African American women, is a region of the Southeast U.S. that is recognized by the public health authorities for having high incidence of stroke and other forms of cardiovascular diseases.
What does it go through? Did it say?
11 states. The stroke belt: Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia.
Yeah.
I don't see
All of the
any
most
similar-
racist states you can imagine.
But it's also, that's interesting because
The stroke belt.
when
It is an actual study. There are
This
studies.
is black women.
Yes, there's a stroke belt, and
Yeah.
black women as well as people in general, black men as well. But the stroke belt, these states are the states where there are higher incidences of stroke among African
That makes
Americans.
sense to me.
societal stressors coupled with diets,
Yeah.
the way you eat, what you eat, how you eat.
Also, look
All
at the
those
slave
things.
trade. Descendants of the slave trade. Those states are areas where a lot of descendants of the slave trade were living.
Absolutely.
That's wild, man. I never even thought of that.
I didn't even know that
Stroke
the
belt.
stroke
Stroke
belt
belt is
/ stroke alley is an actual term.
That's crazy.
That they are all
I never even heard that.
never heard
That's
of it
crazy.
before
Yeah.
until I was doing this research.
So it's a process. We are in process with this.
Yeah, we are in process. My doctor, so we were talking about my old numbers versus new numbers and asking me what's going on in my life. Am I stressed? No, I am not stressed. I am happy. I am chilling. We are having a good life. I was like, I just came back from New York. I've been chilling. There's nothing wrong with me. We looked at maybe, the painkiller I was taking for my hip. Maybe that's what's increased the blood pressure. I saw Holly Berry talk about how menopause or perimenopause can raise women's blood pressures, and doctors aren't tracking those numbers and those stories about that. Then I started reading some more, and they were talking about Science Direct was saying that there's an increase that indicates that in addition to pathophysiological processes, numerous environmental factors such as geographic location, lifestyle choices, socioeconomic status, cultural practices influence the risk, progression, and severity of hypertension.
Makes sense.
Seasons where there are longer locations where there are longer seasons of winter had higher incidences of high blood pressure.
Really?
Yes.
But doesn't that go against the Southern state theory that you just came up with?
Exactly, with the stroke.
Stroke belt.
But stroke belt versus hypertension.
Different. Right, gotcha.
So they're saying exposure to cold has been known for many years to account for higher blood pressure numbers amongst people.
Yeah, those people are in those areas stressing high level of stress in those areas that's not getting a lot of sunshine.
Yeah.
Vitamin D deficiency
Was
another
the
thing.
The suicide rates are through the roof in those type of
I was going
areas.
to say it's like suicide rates in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're just,
Yes.
yeah.
So my cardiologist said to me, well, when's the last time you went on vacation? I was like, I just came from New York. He's like, no.
Yeah.
He said, I mean, like,
It's not vacation.
unplug, sit in front of the ocean, be by the beach, sunshine, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, last year, I'm coming up on, I'm going to do that at the end of July. That's my plan. And he was like, I highly recommend that you just stop right now. You take a break and you go away for a couple of days and just give your body a chance.
You came home and told me, and I said, what did I say? Baby,
He's like, I was looking
baby
at
wants baby
flights.
gifts.
Yeah.
Baby wants baby gifts. What are you talking about? Baby wants baby gifts.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave tomorrow.
Some ocean therapy.
Get some ocean therapy and get away, and hopefully I'm gonna lug my equipment with me and take my blood pressure while I'm down
I'm taking my
there.
CPAP.
You say,
Something crazy.
hey, we gonna have all the equipment.
I just over the last year I started my day trips to Florida.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Tiff she wasn't with it up until I forced her to go last in
May, right?
May,
Yeah.
beginning of May. And it was she couldn't. I understand when I talk about the day trips to the beach. Everyone's like, oh, all of a sudden everybody needs a whole bunch of time at the beach.
Right.
Need all this time to do all
I
this
can't do it all in one day.
3
and
days.
most of y'all ain't
Yeah,
doing
explain
nothing.
what this day trip is,
Yeah.
Joe, for people. People not up on this.
Yes.
So the day trip is something I found where there's I'll go on a Saturday. I leave at like 6 or 7 in the morning, fly direct to Fort Lauderdale, hop off the plane. I go on, I get a resort. I go on Resort Pass. There's an app,
Yep.
and website, but Resort Pass. I get a Resort Pass for a hotel. That way I can have access to the the beaches attached to hotels. And then I go and I sit at the beach all day. And then when I'm done, around 6 or 7 o'clock, I'll catch a 6 or like a 7 or 8 o'clock flight. I leave the beach, go back to most of the time I go back up to the pool, cool out for a little bit, eat, have a good time, chill. I'm really just chilling.
Right.
For a
Nothing
day.
more, nothing less.
Right.
And then you keep an eye on your watch. Oh, it's time for me
Time
to
to
head
go.
back to the airport. I can tell you that leaving Fort Lauderdale at 8 p.m. Gives you it feels like you're in that movie. Remember that movie that came out where the kids were locked in the airport for like Christmas and the airport shut down?
Yeah.
You almost feel like, is my flight canceled?
There's no one
There's
there.
no one there.
There's no one there.
Right.
So there's no stress leaving.
Nope.
Right.
You walk straight through TSA,
Right.
straight to the gate,
Wow.
get on the plane, come back, and you're back in your bed by 11 o'clock that night. And
Hello.
you've spent the entire day
At the
at
beach.
the beach. And I'm finding tickets for like $100.
Yeah.
Listen.
I would have spent more than $100 at lunch and dinner
Yes.
with Tiff and I.
It take the flight to Fort Lauderdale is 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It takes how long to get to Ocean City?
3.
3 hours.
Yeah.
It takes 3 hours, and it came about because I used to go to New York and do my day trips.
Yeah.
But that's 3 hours and about 3 hours and 35 minutes on Amtrak. So I'm
Yeah.
getting to the beach
Yeah.
faster than I
Faster.
would.
You're getting to the beach in Fort Lauderdale
Yeah,
faster than
New York.
and for most people who don't realize the proximity from the beach to the airport.
Yeah.
You walk out of the airport at Fort Lauderdale. It's not like Miami. Everybody thinks about the distance
Yeah.
from Miami to South Beach.
Right.
You get to Fort Lauderdale, you get off the plane.
It's Dania
It's
Beach.
a smaller airport. It's a decent sized airport. Let me not say that. You'll get out. Once you get to the curb, you are at the beach in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
straight up.
It's
That's it.
literally the Dania Beach exit is right there off of
Right there. Yeah, so I'm saying it from the perspective of, there are moments where you need to just get away. I know I need blue water. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I agree.
And so, Tiff needs blue water at different points in times, right? Because we're doing a lot, we're moving around a lot. And so Tiff is like, well, for her, she couldn't grasp the concept of the day trip because she's used to me wanting to move around so much. So she's like, are we really just going to be at the
Right.
beach?
Yeah.
Because I don't trust you, Joe. We get down there and you say we at the beach, but then we end up at some
Sneaker
random sneaker store. Then
Or
it's
the hoodiest hood in
right.
the area.
And then we got to go to a museum, and then we got to do all that. And I just came to, but when we did it in May, she was like, oh yeah, this is
it.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, and for her, she didn't actually believe she would get the recharge. And, and what I reminded Tiff and other individuals when I talked to them about, because we were just talking to Anthony and Shelley about this last night, and I was like, you really underestimate what it's like to just go sit by, like a lot of people
The
just
ocean.
go sit by water.
Right.
Right? Some people will go down to the Potomac, or the pool.
No, that
Sit
works.
and it works.
No, it's scientifically proven.
Absolutely. And I do it all the time. In the summertime, I just go to the pool, right?
Yep.
But and I know I'm doing that because I couldn't get to blue water. Because in my mind, you're thinking of this elaborate trip. Well, I've got to go for 3 or 4 days. I got to get a hotel.
Monday to Thursday to Monday?
Right.
Yeah.
You do the Thursday to Monday run. Now I'm looking at $1,500, $2,000 if it's 2 people in terms of eating and moving around, right? But nah. $200.
Yeah.
I posted it. I posted the entire trip along with costs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For Tiff and I think it was like my total cost, including Ubers, was like $300.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's ways to.
I'm ready for us to try it for Palm Beach.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
But
Yeah.
I'm ready for us.
You gotta do it, man.
Yeah. I need
it
it.
recharges. I'm actually taking it to the next level. One day I was like, I should go on like a Wednesday.
Didn't we say middle of the week?
I was just looking at a Monday, Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a Wednesday.
I was looking at Hooky Day.
Hooky Day. Because I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to recharge at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Nothing more, nothing less. I ain't renting no cars. I'm not running around. Only thing I had in my book bag was some swimming trunks.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm glad you talked about that. The thing here is to be conscious of your environment. Like everything you talked about in those statistics, and everything you're talking about as far as the day trips is all related to your environment.
Environment is important,
right?
Environmental.
Change your environment for your own well-being.
My nurse practitioner asked me, why don't I move back to Florida?
Are we trying to?
That's a legitimate situation.
Yeah.
Trying to get out.
I mean,
like,
at
why don't you
this
move
point,
back? Why don't
Florida
you
is
move back?
tied to your health.
I have to get you around some water. We have to live near water somewhere. That's just the reality of it.
The sun.
The sun,
the salt.
the water. It's just a healing properties in the earth.
Yes.
Not to go crazy, you know what I'm saying? I watched Terrence Howard on Joe Rogan recently, so don't get me started. You know what I mean? But there's healing properties. You know what I'm saying? You have to take advantage of those things.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
So but I'm, it's just, I'm watching the numbers.
Yeah.
I've tweaked the medication now, and we're leaving tomorrow for some beach time.
I ain't mad at that.
And so we're just gonna watch it until we get the appointment.
And then
I will add in here that it is important for me to say that I am beach bougie. I'm gonna need my water to be blue.
Now listen, I'm totally there.
I understand.
I'm with you.
And it works
but
for
sometimes
everyone.
you gotta,
Listen, yours is health related.
Yes.
And so there are healing properties in the beach and all of that. Mine is not, and it's a blue one. I haven't been to Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh,
I've lived here since 1990.
You've never been there ever?
I have never been to Ocean
I think I've
City.
only been there like once.
I've taken the kids like 2-3 times. We've gone.
When I looked at the cost of Ocean City, Maryland,
could have just went to.
I'm just gonna go to Miami.
But wait. Do you know we're going to Anna Maria Island?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an island off of Tampa.
A barrier island off of Tampa. That is
clear waters.
I'm glad you said that. You know why? I just started thinking about expanding my day trip. I found tickets to Tampa.
Yes.
I hit Vic up and was like, "Yo, what's up with Tampa?" But I was asking him what's up with Tampa, but when I looked at it, I didn't see like beaches or anything. I know a lot of people talk about clear water and all that in the area. So I meant to hit him back up to get more. But now that you told me there's a situation there,
We'll report back.
We'll report back with a whole lot.
Made the list.
A whole lot. There's so much, and even Sarasota. You can fly into Sarasota Airport, and Sarasota and Sugarloaf Key, and all of those are all also down there. Gorgeous beaches. I'm talking like sand.
I need to mature in Florida.
Oh.
All I know is Fort Lauderdale,
Miami, South Beach.
Oh, really?
and the beaches in between.
Son.
Oh, there's so
I
much
need to
more.
get more. I need to
You gotta go
explore.
to the Keys, bro.
You got to go to the West Coast.
Look,
Sugarloaf Key.
when our resort gets finished,
Oh,
it's
it's
August, right?
August. Yeah, it opens in
We
August.
are going to propose to the
group
crew
trip.
a group trip
To the Keys.
to Islamorada Key in the Keys. I'm telling you, bro.
resort.
Yo, son, the water the water, the proximity of the ocean to our room.
Yeah.
I could throw a rock from the balcony and hit the water.
Yeah.
Like we right there. It's
and
nothing
the dolphins.
like the dolphins, the star. It was
so
crazy.
crazy.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I just got to get to more.
Yeah. There's so much.
Destin, I've heard great things about Destin.
Destin is great.
Yep.
Yeah. There's so many places that people don't know about, and you just have to just go and explore, and it's beautiful. It's like you're in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Period. For a quarter of the price.
No, we want to take a hard look at Tampa.
Yeah.
As far as possibly moving there.
Yeah.
I just hear great things. You know what I'm saying? There's work there, and there's clear waters there.
I've literally heard nothing but for everyone I've ever known to travel to Tampa, to live by there, especially those in the Air Forces of next to there. Friends of mine who just go there for whatever reason. My cousin. Everyone who ever experiences Tampa,
love it.
It makes their list of places they would love to live.
We might end up extending our trip another day because I really want to stay downtown. You know what I mean, and just kind of move around a little bit, or whatever. Outside of the
say less. Sometimes.
So then I had my off the heels of everything that went on with Trina. With that whole ordeal, I had my little annual physical, and now I gotta go see I gotta go get a ultrasound of my heart because I got a irregular heartbeat.
Word.
Yeah. He listened to my heartbeat and he was like, "Has anyone ever told you have an irregular heartbeat?" I said, "Nah." And he's like, "Do you ever feel anything?" I was like, "Nah." And I don't even know if I do or not. I honestly don't know. Like sometimes. You feel like it might speed up? I don't know.
Yeah.
And he was like, your heart is doing, just this different kind of thing. So he got me a ultrasound schedule. So I got to go get that done.
So I wonder if that's just something you can develop over time.
I don't know. Hopefully find out.
More than enough people listen to your heart to this point.
Listen, I've had hypertension since 2003, and no one has ever looked at my heart in detail.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's hypertension.
Exactly. Not a single doctor has ordered, hey, maybe we should look at her heart and see if there were any injuries that happened as a result of everything that went on with the childbirth and the blood pressures. Because when I had Kennedy, it was like 211 over something, and it was like the emergency rush to get her out because that was the only way to get the blood pressure down.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
So let's lighten this up a little bit.
It's fun.
All right, so we have a guest. We just going. So shout out to Tiff. She did not want me to turn the lights on. She said she was fine in the dark. She got a blanket on. She's good to go.
Just relaxing out there.
She's chilling out there. So I'm happy that she can find that level of comfort in our home.
Right.
Yes.
So when we were starting this podcast, right, when I was getting ready to get the music warming us up, Trina put in a request, play some such and such, and
Make me feel like New York in
play
the
some
summer.
New York summer, and I was like, we don't really do a lot of requests, right? So
don't make requests to the DJ. Let the DJ do the DJ.
So recently, right, there's been a couple of interesting things happening in our relationship in this home.
Okay.
Right? So there's been a couple times where I've woken up in the morning and the AC is on freeze. And I was like, I know I set this to such and such number last night. And all of a sudden in the morning, it's on a different number. And I'm like, So I just let it go, right? I let it go. And then I was like, maybe something's wrong, right? So just last night, I think it was, she comes in, she says, I just put the AC on 70, whatever. And I was like, am I doing bad at AC management?
AC management.
Because she cooks in the house, right? And this is why I equated to it. Can you imagine if you cook me a meal and the first thing I do is just douse it with salt and pepper? At least I was talking to you first.
First of all, my food doesn't require additional seasoning.
You see this?
Whoa.
First of all,
let's not. Whoa.
And I'm like, what's going on?
It be hot in here, and you are okay sleeping in the tropics. I support the tropics, but I'm hot.
Hot is relative. Hot is because Tiff
You
and I
are not feeling the inferno that is going on with
we
me.
have a war.
Okay. A war.
Yeah, it's like she'll walk past, tap, tap, down.
Oh.
I'll walk past,
Wild Wild West.
tap, tap, up. And that will continue throughout the day.
Yo.
Tap, tap, and I'll be like,
It's,
tap, tap.
it's not a matter of you get hot. It's a matter of just have a conversation with me.
Well, baby,
Because am I not in charge of the AC? Am I in charge of the temperature in the house?
I mean, I didn't realize that it was like an in charge thing.
I was about to say,
Come on, man. We have departments in this relationship.
But when I wake
there
up-
defined, let me
Talk
referee the situation. Let me referee the situation. Hold on. Are there defined roles and responsibilities?
Yes, there are.
Yes.
However, comma.
Stand by.
Black woman delegation can't let a black man talk.
There's a line of questioning what happened. In one of those roles, who has the primary responsibility for nourishment?
That's me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the primary responsibility for cleanliness overall?
That's me.
it.
Who has the primary responsibility for laundry?
We do it.
We
she does.
both.
Yeah.
I do mine. He just says, yeah.
But it's an accepted
Yes.
space.
It's defined.
Yeah.
It's defined. Who has the primary responsibility for walking beans?
Oh, that's me.
All right.
Look at me.
Beans is like, you say my name.
He's like,
Right. Who has the primary responsibility for climate control? As defined.
Okay, it
within
is
the-
you. However,
No. How do we
Wait,
get to however?
because in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. when I wake up and he's out cold sleeping in La La Land, I have to sometimes hit it down because I've woken up because I'm burning up.
The defined
But he don't know that I'm awake.
responsibility.
Joe, I need you. That's the mic here. Found a C spot in the mic shot.
Who has the defined responsibility?
But he sleep. But he sleep.
I wake up with icicles.
And he's supposed to act like it's not happening around him.
I be hot. I'm hot. Okay. It's 3 a.m. and I need to get back to sleep and I'm hot.
Have you? Okay.
But it has changed now. Now it has. So now it's all right. Let me get the temperature. Boom.
Yeah.
Ready? We're
Right.
getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Let me put the boom,
puts it
boom,
down.
and then she's coming behind me
And dipping it even more.
and dipping it more
So we figured out there's
without a conversation.
there's
Well,
been
wait,
a,
this morning
there's
it
been a
was nice and cool
conversation.
this morning. And
Nice
I
and
slept
cool?
at 10. I slept until 10.
I was up at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, he
so.
turned it down.
Tiff and I have, and Tiff and I, if she had a mic right now, she would be on that side of the room because her favorite saying is that this is not a Philadelphia third floor house. You may be used to sweating in your sleep, but I am not. And I'm like, it's not that hot.
Y'all
What are we
be
talking
feeling like it's not, and we are burning up.
I'll be in that. It'll be
So-
during the day in the house. I'll be having to drink like 78 sometimes. I'm not
out there
set to 78,
sweating.
but it says 78.
It says it's 78 in here when I'm out
But
there
it's not
working.
really 78.
But it's not 78.
It's not really
That's
78.
just what the temperature is on. But what is the temperature in the apartment at the
The
time?
apartment says that it's 78 and it's set to 76.
Because I like to open the windows.
Well, it can't be set to 76 because if it was 78 and it was set to 76, the AC would kick on.
No.
That's actually how the AC
We've
works.
actually seen it.
Yeah,
it has
AC
it.
kinda does
It
it.
does kind of do some
the AC is
weird
kind of
things.
funky. I'll
It
give you
is
that
kinda
much.
funky.
I'll give you that
It'd
much.
be
Just a little
78 and then it says 76 and it ain't came on. And I'm
Okay.
like, babe, I'm kind of
So
sweating.
let me ask another series of questions.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm doing this for the black men
Oh,
delegation.
goodness. Tiff, where are
The
you?
sleeping black men delegation. What is your blanket to body ratio at night? Are you a sheet and blanket sleeper?
Well, we have a sheet and a quilt.
So you use both of those to sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
And I throw my leg on him for a little while till I go to sleep and then I pull it away.
So help me help me understand. You are using
Yes.
a blanket
Yes.
and a sheet.
Yes.
And you're saying that you're hot at an agreed temperature.
But did we agree upon it?
You agree? It's like common law marriage.
No. We didn't agree
We've been
upon
doing
this.
we've been doing 74 for years.
We
doing
did not
74.
agree upon this. But there comes a time in the middle of the night, and I even said it. If we had a ceiling fan in the bedroom, or if we had something that just blew some air, it would make it so much better.
Have you bought an oscillating fan?
We've discussed it, but someone needed to review the different options
Of an oscillating fan?
of a whatever.
Can you imagine if you were making your lime cilantro wings and I walked right by you, opened a stove, and decided to turn all your wings over? Without talking to you first?
First of all, I make the cilantro lime wings in the air fryer.
You know what I'm talking about.
What if he pulled them out and flipped them?
But as I just stated, we did talk about a fan ionizer thing he needed to get.
Hilarious,
And he said send him a simple. He needed to review
I
them.
feel like you're losing faith in me, yo.
I have tons of faith. But if I wake up at 3:23 a.m. like I normally do Monday through Friday and I'm hot, then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take a walk
When you wake up and you're warm,
at 3:23 a.m.
323.
Yes, and I stick my leg out from under the sheet.
Do you remove the quilt
Yep.
and the sheet?
Yep.
Do you give yourself at least 10 minutes to cool
About
down?
7 minutes. And then I get up.
And then do you bring the sheet back, or do you come back under
I leave
both?
the sheet half on, half off. So one leg is out and one leg is under.
All right.
And then I'm waiting, like, okay, come on.
I'm just
And
trying
I'm
to figure
waiting.
out damage.
I'm hoping for the
I'm
AC
trying
to come
figure
on.
out the steps you're taking before you get.
Well, first of all,
The step she's taking
the mere fact
is
that
walking right behind me and turning the temperature down before we go to bed. Why are we talking about 3:23?
babe, I don't touch
10
it.
o'clock.
I don't touch it before we go to bed. I wait
Pause.
until 3.
It's fantastic.
I wait until 3:23 a.m. because I wake up at 3:18 and then I wait, and then at 3:23 I walk over to the.
Are we about to have a first fight?
No.
You just did it last night.
I was.
No, I didn't wake up last
You
night.
chopped me off.
No,
at the
you
knees.
didn't wake me up.
I didn't
Chopped me off
touch
at
it
the knees.
last
Stay
night.
back, stay back, stay back. I'm
I
back
didn't
to
touch it last night.
I'm back to my line of
Pause.
questioning.
Okay.
Back to my line
That
of
might have
questioning.
been Kennedy.
Over the last 7 days, how many 323s have? Well, no. Because now we've got a different time.
It's 3:18.
How many 318s have existed?
Well, because I haven't been feeling good and I've been taking drugs and stuff, I've actually not been getting up and touching anything this week.
Okay.
I haven't, because I just haven't been feeling good and I've been taking drugs.
Okay.
So I haven't. I just noticed that this morning it was cold and I kept sleeping and it felt great. So I figured he turned it down before he left.
He
Yeah.
all of a sudden decided to freeze
My
himself.
wife looks hot.
While I'm sleeping, my wife looks hot.
Let me turn this
Let
down.
me wake up and turn this down
I don't know.
so that I freeze.
I figured he turned it down for me when he left and I slept until 10. It was great.
Yo, man, we are killing this. We're crushing this. We're crushing this.
We got to talk about Diddy.
We had. I don't. Let's skip Diddy.
What?
You want this? Just hit the Howard thing with Diddy,
Okay.
because we have some more important trivial things to get to.
More important trivial things than Diddy.
Yes,
That could be
this
it.
funny stuff.
Okay, so
We gotta wrap this up.
so the Alumni Association sent out a message to Howard University alumni yesterday, advising that they had unanimously voted to rescind or revoke the honorary degree to him.
Wow.
As well as canceling the $1 million agreement that they had for the Sean Combs Foundation.
Oh, wow.
When was that agreement
scholarship-
made?
The scholarship fund. So originally it was done in 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
He didn't officially fulfill it, so I thought, until 2023. So he had made this huge pledge about the Sean
ain't
Combs
nobody never get
Foundation.
no money.
in
Ain't
2016.
nobody get
And
no
nobody
money,
ever
son.
got any money.
Until
and,
November 2023.
and then he's doing the damage control, and he's
Right.
trying to change his image, the brother love
Brother
thing.
love.
And he, so I thought, made
Which
the
is a shame, 'cause
payment.
that album was amazing.
Right.
The love joint. It's crazy. It's a shame.
It's nasty.
So so then I was like asking questions because I was unsure of what's going on. Like, because we got the email last night, and then of course the chatter was going off, and I was like, I don't understand. So because Howard said they were giving back $1 million.
That's what I was going to ask. Are they giving the money
They
back?
said they were giving the money back. So
Kudos to them, because that doesn't normally happen.
right. So then I got another follow-up message about the whole thing because I was unsure because I'd asked alumni some questions.
Okay.
So this is what they formally said. The board has also directed the university administration to immediately take the following actions. Terminate the 2016 gift agreement. That was when he initially made the pledge.
Okay.
2016 agreement with Mr. Combs. Disband the scholarship program in his name. Return his $1 million contribution and terminate a 2023 pledge agreement with the Sean Combs Foundation. No payments towards the $1 million pledge have been due or made by the Sean Combs Foundation.
So what do they
as
return?
of this date? Therefore, no funds are due to be returned under the 2023.
They're basically
pledge
just
agreement.
saying we don't want your money.
We
We never
didn't
got
take
it.
it.
We don't
So
want it.
And
they're
we
saying
don't want it.
if we had gotten it, we would have returned it. But since we didn't get
since
it,
we didn't,
we ain't
and
giving
we're
you that
just
back.
terminating all things and revoking your honorary
It's
degree.
tough to be Diddy right now.
Woo!
He earned this.
He earned it.
He sure did.
No ifs, ands, or buts
Yeah, he
about it.
earned
I'm
it.
just saying it's tough to be him
Yes.
right now.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
not looking
so
good.
that's
And
that's,
rightfully so.
That's what the chatter has been for the last 24 hours from the Alumni Association.
So that's really interesting because that goes to my question that I was going to ask.
Okay.
Because Howard is doing it.
Yes.
And obviously all of this stuff happened after the video came out,
yes.
which in detail corroborates what Cassie wrote
Yeah.
Yes.
out
Yes.
in that suit or in that
She
file.
spoke to that actual incident
That
in the
actual
paper.
incident is in there.
And I read it.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember, like, I was like, if even an iota of what was said here was done, he's a monster.
Yep.
Yes.
And that was when that was released.
Yes.
As individuals who have 65 episodes and a weekly show,
Yeah.
what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on podcasters or people who, when it came out in October, November, the file that it was, how everyone was like, I'll wait, or I'll reserve a perspective or an opinion. And then when the video comes out, now everyone is jumping on he's the worst human being, F him, all that other stuff. What do you think about that?
Want me to go first? So, I believe that the podcast. The podcasters do whatever they
Absolutely.
they do, but
But there were some notable individuals who chose
Not to
not
touch
to take a stand.
there's a couple of I think that there's a couple of layers to this, right?
Okay.
One, hearing it is one, seeing it is another.
Got it.
Right. So hearing it, we've been duped so many times, and I'm just saying we, right? I'm not saying that I took these stances and whatnot, but we've been duped so many times that folks have a problem jumping out the window.
Okay.
Right. Because you can be wrong.
Right.
And, on the wrong side of history or whatever. Right.
Right.
So there's that. There's a capitalism side to this. Right. His money was still green when the paperwork came out.
Okay.
Right? So people who could possibly, even if it's a remote chance, benefit from his money, his power, influence, they don't want to say anything just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. But once the video came out and it looks like Diddy's done, right? That's disgusting what happened. Then people start, once his money's no good anymore,
Then I can say what I want.
Now I can say what I want.
Right.
Right? Which I don't have any respect for. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, so from a personal standpoint, when I heard those things, I had already been hearing things about Diddy for a while, right? You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I've never been around, and when I believed, you know what I'm saying, what I was hearing would not because of who it came from,
Right.
right? So when the paperwork came out, I was like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't read it. I didn't read the whole thing.
Right.
Whatnot, but I heard a lot about it, right? I was like, that's crazy. Like, if these things are true, this dude is like you said, he's a monster. Once I saw the video, I was like, fuck Diddy. Yeah. I see you beating a woman.
Yeah.
I see you doing it. There is a major difference. As a podcaster, we talked about it. We've talked about him the entire time, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Now, whatever it was at the time, we talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I'm not on the inside. We're not on the inside like that to you know what I'm saying, with details, but we touched on the subject. We weren't scared to touch on the subject. Like, why would we be?
Right.
And whatnot. So many other folks, they had to answer that for themselves out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you want to just act like what he's accused of, and people be knowing, son. These people that's in the industry,
they knew.
These people in the industry, they
knew. And you didn't,
because that money's green.
Let me reserve. Trina.
Yep.
Your thoughts.
I don't know where to begin on this, because this goes back to me being at Howard and being in school and having some slight interactions, and they were not pleasant. So for me, 1995, 1996 time frame, I did have, some limited interactions, and I knew, based on the disrespect that was going on in my presence, that I never ever wanted to share the same space with him ever again. I felt like when everything came out, because when I say we, the Howard community or whatever, people have known things. People have friends who worked at Bad Boy. People have friends who worked in the industry in close proximity. A lot of Howard people were working for him or whatever. Everyone knew about the violence happening in the workspace and how he was just being protected and no one wanted to talk about it and all of these things. And it was just really disappointing to see. It was kind of like like Cassie's case came out, the documentation came out with the trigger warning, and I read through all of it, and to see basically, like you said, the industry not comment, not wanting to believe it, not wanting to believe that what she said was real, and everyone just kind of going on hunky-dory until the tape was released. And so as a woman, when you see how all of a sudden now everybody's like, oh, he ain't shit, and oh this and oh that, but it was already there in writing, and he quickly paid, or whoever paid, insurance paid, or what have you. No one comes up with that many details, and what was it, 67 pages of documentation for an entire industry to go mum and silent and not believe her. It was just really disappointing to see now. All of a sudden, the men are speaking out. You've got the Charlemagnes and the Envies and all the people who have made money with him.
Can I make a
Joe
point?
Budden.
Joe spoke out. He spoke out.
He did, but it was real. It was real light-footed. And after the video, you got all the Joe Budden, the vitriol.
Diddy is done.
Shit. Nah.
You can go mum and believe Cassie at the same time.
I agree.
There's people out there that were quiet and either believed or knew that those things happened, but they stayed quiet for whatever reason.
It's depressing, and that's what the point of. Just for a woman, when you see so many things about believe a woman the first time she said something, that's why women don't come forward, because they don't feel like they're going to be believed when they're going up against a juggernaut of a Diddy.
That's anybody, yo. Yes, I agree with you. When you're talking about a billionaire, powerful person, people are scared.
I work. My job is EEO. I'm also vice president of NAACP. Like, that's any power structure. You're gonna have people who are fearful to speak based on that. And that's why I was careful about my question in terms of the podcasters and the individuals who are not responsible, but they made it their responsibility to talk about current events and things like that. And when something like that came out, they chose not to speak in depth about it. There's is nobody who could have read any of that paperwork and not believed a portion of it enough to say he's a bad person. You may have not believed everything. You could have been like, okay, this is just unbelievable for a human being to hang another young lady off of a balcony just because the girl he was dating decided to leave a party. Like, you'll be like, all right, that's a little much. I may not believe that. But the details, I mean, the way it was written and the details by which it was written, it was interesting to me how many people decided to take the light approach if they talked about it at the time.
Yes.
And then, and again,
What do you mean by light approach?
Light approach.
Like
means,
what compared to what you think they should have been doing?
So, let me start. Let me also say I agree with you. Seeing something, having video evidence of something is always worse than reading it, right?
Right.
And so, yes, I can understand why a person would say, you know, how they would feel like, yo, that's crazy. You're a horrible human being because I saw it, right? As opposed to hearing about it.
Right. So like,
but then if you read it, right, like your job, if your role is to be this, if your role is to be, and I'm talking about specific type of individuals who have podcasts, and that's their job. Like they report on current information. They can go in depth about things and people's personal business all the time.
Yep.
But in this situation, they didn't take the same approach that they took with. It could have been a Drake conversation or whoever conversation that was just hearsay. And they spent 2 hours talking about it.
Right.
You've got an actual document with details and you talk about it with just a little gloss over. You're saying, yo, you know what? That's crazy. I ain't really read it, but you know,
or even like the Breakfast Club, they did read it and they wouldn't give an opinion. They wouldn't make a stance on Diddy in the beginning when Cassie first, even when he paid, like within 24 hours later, they were like, well, he paid.
Do you think that the fact that he paid so quickly kind of silenced some folks? Like left them with not as much to say?
It silenced everybody.
Because he paid. He paid. And then that kind of was like, for some folks, it kind of was like, okay.
Sweeping it under the rub.
Yeah, because it was easy for them to be like,
that's what that is.
But then he paid, and if he's guilty, we don't know because he paid.
But then the spin was that it was all about her being on a money grab.
Yeah.
Some folks said that.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
a
overwhelming
lot. Majority.
It was an overwhelming majority
No
that
doubt
were
about
going. Look like this. What was this, the old knucklehead Slim
Hold up.
Thug? And
with the paperwork,
all the people,
when she came out with the paperwork,
when
people were saying that it's a
Absolutely.
money grab.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know
that
people.
She had
People
been
did
with
say
him
that
all along, and now you want to say something all these years later. Why didn't you say something before? There's a lot of victim blaming that was happening, and she's just there for the money.
I don't agree with you two that it was the overwhelming majority. I saw idiots doing it. I saw Slim Thug saying that. I saw some individuals coming out and saying that. I did see some people,
but it was a majority.
I don't feel like it was the overwhelming majority saying that it was a money grab.
Okay, I think
unless we're talking about people in comments and stuff like that.
I think along the industry side, because there were so many people who wouldn't take a stance, but it was easier to agree with the money grab stance.
And that's why I'm saying that. It's not like, it wouldn't be like, well, this is a money grab, but they would agree with the sentiment that it was a money grab. And again, you know, the other side, and I'll say this because we talk about this in other areas all the time. The other side of what people are saying is based on what your algorithm is showing.
Oh, correct.
Yes.
That part.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they're pumping to us.
So what people are saying in my algorithm is different than what people are saying in your algorithm. You know what I mean?
My stance on this, right, is based off of human nature, right?
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
Right or wrong.
Right. Human nature, right? It's human nature to protect your own.
how do black people say right, wrong, or indifferent?
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Wrong, or indifferent.
But irregardless of that.
Me,
myself personally.
Yeah.
We can do a whole week. We've been planning a whole segment on the black sayings.
Yeah.
But people, they are going to lean towards protecting their own.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you some people are built differently, right? You throw it all away for the opportunity to take a righteous stance. People want to protect themselves. They're gonna lean that way a lot of times and whatnot. So if someone says, and not necessarily you, because you might say, to hell with what you're saying, but if someone says, hey man, I know you're giving a speech, some very powerful person,
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're giving a speech this evening. And I know what you're going to talk about, right? The mayor is a personal friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, you can make your speech, but you make your speech, this is your last day in WACB.
Right.
Right. And you might have to move out of Charles County.
Mm-hmm.
At the bare minimum, there's going to be some contemplation.
Wow.
Absolutely.
There's going to be contemplation because
about
that means you have a family, you got to move them.
Mm-hmm.
You know the power this person has.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to, so...
It's not an idle threat.
It's not an idle threat.
I understand.
And whether they, you know what I'm saying? And the threat doesn't have to come directly from that person. Most of the time it doesn't, if they're that powerful. So what I'm saying is human nature. I understand whether I agree with it or not. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here, like, listen, you going to tell me I can't do Where's Brunch anymore? Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
if you really stop it, then you stop it. Whatever. Man, I'll do something else. Whatever. But there's people in positions, Charlemagne over at Power, whatever. These people, they're like,
well, let's talk
this
about
is crazy.
Let's talk about a black woman publication. Let's talk about Essence Magazine. Essence Magazine wouldn't make a statement about it, and as we know, Susan Taylor is his godmother.
That's nasty.
They wouldn't make a statement when stuff first came out, and it was just the most unsettling. Like, y'all not gonna say nothing about this that came out and all of these things.
Right.
They wouldn't formally, what they did was post when the case, when she did the formal charge or whatever, and that he paid, and there was no opinion piece, there was no, like, you could go on these whole things about Amanda Seals and all these other people, but you couldn't stop and take a stand against him and his violent behavior that has been documented in this.
You said that's nasty.
That's nasty.
The godmother?
It's nasty that the publication
That the
and the godmother would.
But she's not
You
even
think-
there
you
anymore.
think-
She's been gone from Essence for years. She
Oh, okay.
hasn't been the
And I love
editor-in-chief.
Susan Taylor.
And we love Susan. She hasn't been the editor-in-chief in years. But everyone was saying behind the scenes
She pulled that string.
that she's like, don't say
That's
nothing.
if you're not there, that's nasty. I agree. That's nasty.
nasty.
However, this is his godmother.
Yeah, but she.
Do you think that she's gonna come out and say something against him?
Yeah.
But-
So.
But the magazine.
But that's.
I
But
understand that.
So that's my point. My point and the purpose of the question is how, when people are taking the liberty of doing things at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
If this were Rick Ross and not Puffy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People
There
be
would've-
all over him.
Essence would have had 70
Exposed.
They
articles.
would have
And they would have had
they'd have
women.
crushed him.
They would have had women doing interviews
They
and
would have
all
had-
that stuff.
Back when the suit came out,
Yes.
when she filed that, based off of that documentation, we would still have articles.
Yes.
Unless his godmother had power over that magazine.
And what I'm saying is, I understand why. I asked the question because I'm simply saying that if you reserve the right, because it's your person, to not do that, I also reserve the right to call Boshi on
Absolutely.
and say,
Absolutely.
you're terrible for not doing
Yeah.
But guess what?
when you had all of it right then and there.
Someone would have to tell me that I'm a terrible person then if Joe hauled off and killed someone, right? And I found out, and it was true. At the most, we would lose our relationship if he did something very immoral. I would never speak out publicly against Joe. no matter what he does.
I can say publicly that what my friend did was wrong.
You can say that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So speaking out again, but again, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is they chose not to take any stance, or they chose to walk lightly around it, like, I need to see more, or, well, he paid it, so we're not going to discuss it.
I'm with
blah,
you guys.
Blah, blah.
I'm with y'all.
That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is that it's a more robust type of, you know what I'm saying? It's not as black and white.
And the only
there's so many different nuances when it comes to this.
The only reason why I really have a beef with it is because of the sucker shit after. So after, when the video comes out, you take the gloves off, the muzzle
and
off,
just go crazy on him.
just go wild on him.
Right.
Now that's the part I can't have. Like you say 2 years ago. Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Right.
Where was the energy you had in November?
Yeah.
When you had the paper and all the details,
Were there.
you wanted to be light-footing it then. Well, light-foot it now.
I would have to, if someone knew, because a lot of people knew, like we keep saying, right?
Everyone.
If you knew, some people didn't know. Some people didn't know.
There are
Gotcha.
people
Some
who
people
did
heard
not
things.
know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Some people did not know. You can't just put a blanket on
You
everybody.
cannot.
Just because you're in the entertainment industry does not mean you know
Gotcha.
everything that's going on in the entertainment
I
industry.
will say that there are far too many super away from fringe people who knew, which tells me that the overwhelming majority knew. But power is at this point, who knew and how many people knew doesn't really mean anything because of his power and stature within the
And the
industry.
fear that they had of him.
Even if he did those things, and she came out with the how many pages, baby?
67.
67 pages, right? All right. This is how it really, the world really works. If you have these 67 pages, and let's say all these people came out and went crazy on him. He's disgusting. He's all this stuff, and he beat it. Then that in that world equates to him not actually has ever done it. It's as if he'd never done it. Now, now I've lost no stature. I've lost nothing as this powerful, disgusting person. However, Joe,
You lost it all.
oh, you was out there. You was out there on the
Wild
radio.
for the night. You was wilding on the interview.
I'm up still.
Right.
I'm up still.
But
Now
a lot
you're
of people,
done.
But I think a lot of people were expecting that this would be a sweep under the rug, and he would beat it, and there would never ever be any type of
And they played
formal
that.
evidence.
It wasn't
formal
until
evidence.
the video. Once the video
Once the
came
video
out,
came
at that
out.
point, they knew there was no way he was going to beat that part.
Yeah, he's
And,
so
and
savage.
now,
He's disgusting.
And now everyone's giving interviews. So hence the Rolling Stone 6-month interview that they went through, interviewing people who were willing to go on record and those who were willing to go on record but be anonymous, talking about his history of violence. And they started where? At Howard University, where he had a beating situation of a girlfriend out in front of the quad, that multiple people verified the incident. They verified the young lady. They verified the whole situation of him beating her outside in front of the dorm and people yelling and screaming for him to get off of her.
Crazy.
And he wasn't.
He
Diddy
ain't
at
no
that
power
point.
back then, right?
Right. He was just
He was
Sean.
just Sean throwing parties.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's disgusting. He's disgusting. I mean, you shared your feelings about him since we've been, talking about him, whatever.
Yes.
And of course I believe you 100%. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But again, seeing that video, hearing all the stuff in the paperwork and whatnot, it was like, yo, that is crazy. I believed her. I believed her.
Had to believe.
I believed her.
There's no way. you
But
couldn't
seeing the
believe it.
video,
Seeing the video was crazy.
come on, man.
Yeah.
It's just
come on,
next
man.
level.
It's
And that's just
it's
one.
next level.
Next
And that's
level,
just
man.
one.
That's just one.
And that's just one woman.
Whew.
We still don't know what happened with Kim Porter. We still don't know how. Well,
we've
J-Lo
been hearing
got
stuff
out.
too.
J-Lo got out, but you hear stuff about Kim Porter fighting him back.
J-Lo left because she saw him shoot that woman in the face.
Yeah.
In the face.
So, yo, man, we're gonna do a part 2.
Part two.
Yeah, we gotta
Part
start
two.
this. You know what I'm saying? We
Part
can talk
two.
for hours. This is gonna be our longest episode ever.
Hey.
For sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate Joey.
This is what I do. Invite me to your podcast if you'd like to extend the time. Pause.
Yo, I got one question for y'all.
Oh,
though.
Let's go.
jeez.
Let's
I got
go.
one
you got?
question. This is
Let's
something.
lighten the
I'm
mood
afraid.
on
I
the way
got
out of
to,
here.
I got
I'm
to.
very
Come on, what are we
afraid.
talking about?
And this person that I'm about to talk about indirectly doesn't have any power, so I don't have any fear.
Okay.
So
But
listen,
Dave,
what does it mean if you directly you're talking to someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over social media.
Okay.
Right? So you're
Okay.
typing.
Oh, okay.
And like this person is having a hardship. And you tell them directly that you're gonna pray for them.
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
And they leave you on red.
Do you pray? Is that what you're asking?
Wait.
I still did.
Okay. You told them you were going to pray for them and they didn't respond
Yeah.
and say thank you.
He ain't say nothing.
Or,
They never responded
No,
to Dave?
no response.
well, maybe they were still in their situation.
Did they read it?
Yeah.
You're right at.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for you.
Maybe
Well,
they
what
just
did they
didn't
want?
know how
What
to
did they
answer.
Did they? What did they want something from you?
No,
No,
man.
but-
This person was going through some stuff. I saw it and I decided to, you know what I'm saying,
I'm gonna
send
pray
them a
for
message
you.
and told them that I'm praying. And I did.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
Right.
Honestly, I don't have, it's all like I don't really
Yeah.
care. But I thought it was funny though. That
So you don't say thank you.
Thank
he
you.
didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything.
And I was like, is it because I'm Muslim? Because you know how, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody don't want everybody,
Everybody
to pray.
don't-
Nobody don't want everybody praying. Is that it?
Sister Beth be on some bullshit on Thursdays.
You know,
I don't
if
want you
you-
praying
you're-
for me,
you're
Sister
allowed-
Beth.
No, I don't know what God you praying to.
Yeah, it might be like your Allah is not my Jesus Christ.
No, you damn right. I
What
thought it
if-
was interesting.
What if the person? That's a fantastic
Wow.
viewpoint.
Wow. That's weird.
That's actually not a light topic. It's just for the
I know it's not. I know it's not, but it was funny on the surface.
We'll stay at the surface level right
That's
now.
layers.
Surface level is when is it appropriate to say thank you?
You do. I mean, if you see the
Immediately, as soon as you read
Yeah,
it.
as soon as you read
You
it.
read it. Someone said they're gonna pray for you. You should say thank you.
Yes.
because if you
Or
put
good looking now.
if you put that out on social media, clearly you want some sort of response, right?
Or just even
I
just say,
treat social
appreciate-
media just like talking to a person.
I appreciate that.
Like, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Or
I
good
appreciate
looking
that.
out.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're thinking to yourself, they ain't gonna do shit. Your prayers ain't gonna do shit, but I appreciate that though. So. I just thought it was funny, man. Like,
well, they-
yo, if you're listening to this or watching this, I know you're probably not, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, so
let,
what
me,
they're
let me
seeking-
let me take that out. I'll strike that.
Yeah.
It's all jokes. B. It's funny. It's funny. I thought it was funny.
Are they
funny that they
seeking
did not
monetary damages or monetary?
No, they just did-
Right.
so you're going through something. I reach out. I say, yada yada yada,
Leave it on red.
and then I say,
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you, and that person reads it and then never responds.
Never responds.
That's crazy. That's rude.
That's rude. That's rude. That's
me,
rude. That's
pardon me.
rude. Yo, you rude, B.
Little Ruby.
Whoever you
Little
are,
Ruby.
you rude.
Yo,
man. That's not-
you're hilarious. What you are? That's hilarious, B.
That's crazy.
rude,
That's crazy to take that approach.
Have some etiquette.
Yo, all right.
And I'll be honest, I am not good with thank yous.
Oh.
I'm not good with taking compliments, boss. I don't respond correctly sometimes, especially to certain compliments. Other compliments I'm chock full of one-liners with, so I get out of it. That's my responses are great for one-liners.
Just staying out the way, man. You know?
But you know what I mean? I ain't making no noise.
Ain't making no noise.
I got a bunch of them. But if I'm going through something, I take the time to post it, which I know people don't do it for that reason. But you're gonna garner responses.
Yeah.
And a person doesn't respond under the tag. They actually send you a DM or something.
Yeah.
And say, say some words of encouragement, and then say, I'm going to pray for you. To not say at least a one-liner of acknowledgement That's nasty work.
It's nasty work.
That's nasty. That's
looking
nasty
out.
work.
It's my guy too. He's a cool dude. You know what I mean?
Out, you know, appreciate you. You know, whatever, however you want to write that.
Maybe he really ain't have no situation.
They all came from Abraham, man. It's all Abrahamic religions, man. We all the same. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
crazy.
hilarious. Yo, man. Yo.
We cannot end without acknowledging that the Wine and Culture Fest
Oh, yes.
notified us that we made it to the final 5 for the podcast of the year.
Hey.
I'm doing pretty good as far as geniuses go.
Today is Kanye's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It's true.
Yes, it is his birthday today. And so
It's a beautiful thing.
it's a great thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. You see how that works?
Hey, person.
Yo, this guy Joe's on something, yo.
So what does it mean to you? Because for me, I just show up as the talent, but you were kind of like the mastermind as to the direction and where we were going. You had a vision for Where's Brunch.
Hilarious.
You said what?
I said showing up as the talent.
I said it all the
Hilarious.
time.
I'm gonna let her get it over the fence.
Let it rock. Let it rock.
So what does it mean for you, for us to receive this nomination for the second year?
I'm glad you
in a
said that.
row?
For us to receive this
Yeah,
nomination,
versus- yeah.
it's always, regardless of what anyone says, it's great to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and whether it's by your peers, strangers, the ones close to you, it's great to be acknowledged. So, that alone is great for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we win or we don't win, like we didn't win last year, and I didn't feel any way about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we were acknowledged. Like, excuse me, someone's paying attention.
Yeah.
Someone's seeing the quality of the work, and to get from the first stage, which is a big pool of people, to this stage of 5 folks, means that people supported us because they have to go vote.
Right.
Right. So that is a huge thing. So thanks to all those folks out there.
Yes. Thank you.
You know what I mean? Thanks to those close to us, our close friends who support us, like Joe. You know, saying every Monday he's listening to the pod. You know what I mean? It's a few people like that, and there's tiers, right? And I'm not saying you're above anyone else, whatever, but there's people who they're constantly like, yo, I just caught up. I'm listening to episode 60 right now.
Yeah.
They're constant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Alicia, you know what I'm saying? Wendy, like there's folks out there. Paulette, it's for Donnie. It's folks out there supporting us. It's close to us. So yeah, I appreciate all that. And so and I can speak on our behalf. We appreciate.
We do.
We appreciate that.
We
So
do.
it's dope, man.
And we do it to support the culture. We're having conversations that our age bracket are having.
Yes.
Right? We're talking about things that, whether it's wine that we're sipping in the beginning or whatever is going on, we're having the conversations that are related to the culture as well.
Hey, listen, these are topics that can affect. These are topics that people are going through.
Yeah.
These are the topics some of them that you're discussing at the brunch table with your friends.
Yes.
Right? These are things that you can relate to, not looking to celebrities to help you pave your way through life.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get the answer from Busta Rhymes. You're going to get the answer from Joseph Sampson.
Busta Rhymes is still spraying his hair.
You're not going to get... Yo, you know what, man? It's time. I appreciate y'all, yo. Trina, I love you.
I've got one last thing. This is
Look at me started, yo.
It's important for us to have this mini discussion. For anyone else who sits in this chair and uses this microphone, the microphone gets to an uncomfortable space close to your mouth.
This is where you get the optimal sound. You hear it.
And the reason why I have been going in and out super pause with my tone here is because there are bouts of discomfort with the proximity of this microphone to my lips.
If you see these dogs in
I
your
know.
front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard.
Exactly.
Ding dong.
And so, to anyone else, this is a PSA. To anyone else who will sit in this chair,
Oh, man.
I have a very deep voice.
The voice
at a lower register.
Yeah.
You will be able to project from a comfortable space. In order for you to hear me this way, I am not comfortable.
yeah. On that note, Joe, we love you, bro. We love you.
Y'all. Look,
We love you.
appreciate y'all for letting me out.
We out here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So the microphone